which is why I say I didn't botch my return because I'm not really returned yet. Yeah.
Botchamania.
Yeah, whatever that means. All right. If you want to follow any of our social medias, I'll plug Blackjack's in there as well after I get finished talking. If you want to follow any of our social medias, it'll be down in the description below. If you want to support the channel or join Patreon, that is also in the description below. Blackjack, you still have your Patreon. Do you still promote it?
Patreon.com/BlackjackXXI.
That is his, and mine is, of course, that whole Patriot thing, Wise and Now. All right. I came into this SummerSlam with little to no expectations because I really haven't been following. I've been following a bit of Raw and almost none of SmackDown. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know who the champions were from SmackDown coming into this. I mean, outside of Hardbody Mahal, I didn't know who any of the other champions were. And Naomi. I didn't know who the tag team champions were. I didn't know that AJ had the title. I just didn't know. So I was like, all right, if my expectations are low, they can't disappoint me, right? Because I'm not expecting anything. So I said, let's just go into a cold and see how I feel about it. Same thing with NXT. NXT, I missed, I want to say, the last 2.5 weeks. And the reason why I say half is because I caught some matches.
But you should know who the champions are because it hasn't changed.
On NXT? Yeah, of course. And of course, I felt a lot better about that show than this show. And I knew that was going to happen. My expectations were very high for the Fatal 4-Way of this pay-per-view.
Actually, that was the thing I had the least highest expectation for.
Really? On the pay-per-view? On the SummerSlam?
Yeah, the matches that I actually thought were going to be really good were Neville and Tozawa, Usos and New Day.
I missed it.
And I was expecting Styles and Owens, those three to be the best matches of the night, and then everything else to be kind of like in the middle.
Let me. You just said Styles and Owens. Let me say something about this. Their other two pay-per-view matches to me have been underwhelming. You know.
Yeah, they've been
as
there.
far as expectations. So with this one, I really wasn't expecting much until I saw the video package. When I saw that video package, yeah, big pay-per-view. You're right. But when I saw that video package, I said, "Oh, hold up now." And Shane's the special guest referee because he wants to keep order because these two, they wow. And the way that they did the video package and they kept attacking Shane and that whole thing, it just shows some heat for this. Now, I don't know if it felt that way watching it on SmackDown, but just once they put it all together, I was like, okay, we might have something here. And we'll get to that. We're going to go in order. I didn't see the pre-show. Did you?
So true story, I was actually just in New Jersey probably 10 hours ago.
God damn it, you should have called me.
Well,
Wait, you're back in Carolina?
Yeah, I'm back in Carolina. There was an emergency. I need to get back up there real quick, and it was just kind of like an in and out thing.
Fair enough.
So I was actually watching this whilst I was traveling through Virginia, and then I just got back home maybe an hour ago.
Okay.
And was watching like the rest of it. So like when I hit you up on Skype, that was maybe 5 minutes within me getting home actually.
So what were you watching it on your phone or?
Yeah. So I kind of followed along with most of it. I got to like see some moves and stuff like whilst I was driving and the pre-show I didn't get to see the Miz and match against.
Yeah, they put that on immediately.
Yeah,
like
apparently
as soon as the pre-show started, bam, it was on.
Yeah, apparently Jason Jordan and the Hardy Boys lost, which I was not expecting.
Did you see the crowd?
I did not.
I'm going to send you a picture. You got to see what they wrestled in front of. You won't believe it. You will not believe it. And this right here just goes to show you just don't, let me see, copy link address. You just don't start your matches this early. How do I, here we go.
Oh, is this like Kalisto Ryback
worse.
WrestleMania 30?
Way worse. This is like worse than GFW. This is TNA bad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Why would you have a match in that? Oh my god. You can count how many people were there.
Okay, The Miz can never make fun of any indie wrestler ever again in his life for wrestling in a in a gymnasium. That's essentially what he just did tonight.
Yeah. You can't say, well, you go out there and you wrestle in a crowd full of 20 people. Well, Miz, about this picture.
Well, Miz, I think you literally did that on the pre-show of SummerSlam.
It looks like there's about 6 people in the crowd.
Yes.
That looks like TNA. I wonder how they work the hard cam. I got to go back and watch this. I got to see how they work the hard camera on that one.
I kind of want to. I want to see it just for that reason too.
So I missed that match, but the Miz Taraj won, which I'm good with them winning. I'm good with the result there. Don't know how they won. Don't know anything about it.
But I was just shocked that it actually happened. I don't know how they picked up the win either. So
yeah, we can skip that. So did you catch any of the pre-show at all?
Nope. I did get to see the Usos and New Day. That shit was awesome.
I heard it was.
I'm not gonna spoil the match.
I mean, I know who
you
won.
You need to watch. No, I mean like everything that happened in it. Just watch it. It's fucking awesome.
All right. Who from New Day was in the match?
Big E and Xavier Woods.
Okay. All right. They switching it up. All right. All right. So Tozawa and Neville. How was that? You didn't see it?
I didn't really see it. I only kind of listened. Neville won, so he's the champion again.
So let's dive into that a little bit. Neville winning the title back. Tozawa got a taste of it. Where are they going with that?
I don't know, because it felt like, oh, I guess now we have to take Titus Brand seriously. That's cool, but like you just kind of randomly derailed Neville's reign, and then he just wins it back at SummerSlam. So I guess the whole thing was to show just how deranged Neville is, where it's just like he's 205 Triple H.
At what point are they going to proclaim 205 to be dead?
When Neville buries all of them.
Yeah, I guess. Has Cedric even gotten a title match?
Man, yeah, it was called. Yeah, he won the Alicia Fox belt. And then he dropped it to Noam Dar.
Well, he was the inaugural. He was the inaugural Alicia Fox championship belt.
Yes, he was the inaugural Alicia Fox champion, and then he traded it back and forth with Noam Dar for a while. Then he fucked off for a bit, and Noam Dar held it, and then Rich Swann held it, and then was like, "Nah, I'm vacating this shit." And then Noam Dar picked it back up again, and then the belt retired itself.
Yeah, it's just gone at this point, right? Jeez.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, let's move along. So we didn't really catch much of anything on the pre-show.
The pre-show, yeah.
Let's
go to them.
Go ahead.
No, what were we gonna say during the?
Nah, I was gonna say the same thing you were saying, but go ahead, bring it in.
Yeah, let's move on to the main card. So, John Cena versus Baron Corbin started off the night.
I decided to take that time to set up my computer and stuff.
I was shocked that this actually started.
I think they wanted to get it out of the way.
I thought for sure that they were going to do like, okay, like it's John Cena, big match John. He has to have his big match at SummerSlam. Nope, motherfucker, you starting the show.
Big match Johnny. I mean, I say they probably just wanted to get it out of the way. They don't have any, from what I hear, they don't have much faith in Baron Corbin. With Cena stuff, they want to keep it short and simple. So put it on first, get it out the way, have people forget about it. I think that's what they were probably going for. I kept glancing over at the match while I was setting up all of the OBS and stuff. It just didn't really look interesting at all.
It wasn't. I'll say this. Cena, and this one isn't even really his fault, but Cena's killed another guy.
I think that they set him up for him to kill him.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not really on him this time, because they set it up this way, but yeah, Baron Corbin's dead now.
So
DED dead.
So let me say this.
DED dead.
Let's say this. Was the match? All right, you said the match you really didn't care for it. People are always saying
there were some cool moments, but
they're always saying, "Oh, see, John Cena is a great wrestler. He's having these great matches, yada yada yada." And my component is he'll have a great match when you put somebody in there that's good as well. But
yeah,
he's not a guy that's gonna carry a match.
No.
And you put him in there with Baron Corbin, somebody that's capable if given a chance. you get nothing out of it.
Yeah, Baron Corbin's another guy. You put a good worker with him, and everything is, fucking hunky dory. He had the match with Samoa Joe in NXT, and that shit was really good.
Yeah, that's why I'm not really ready to. I like his stuff with Kalisto as well, but that's why I'm not ready to really jump on board with what people are saying about Big Mess John. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. You know what I just remember?
Go ahead.
Remember the tag team match when he was in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, American Alpha, and he was tag teaming with
Was it Rhino? It was Joe.
Yeah, Rhino at the time.
It was Rhino or what? Yeah, it was Rhino because Joe was with was with Bacon.
Bruh, I just remembered this. Remember when Chad Gable was supposed to go for his he was trying to do a Hurricanrana sort of thing, and he turned that shit to the end of days. The end of days.
Did he?
Yeah, because he twirled around his head and everything, and then Baron Corbin caught him in the end of days. Though I was
and his legs all the way. Yeah, you're right.
Bruh, that was the most awesome fucking finish I've seen that year.
It's just crazy, and it sucks, and I hate to say it, but just NXT. You know what? I'm not gonna give NXT all the credit in the world because they know how to use some people. Some people, for some reason, they don't know. It just seems like either they don't know how to use or they just don't feel like investing in them.
So you know how sometimes, and you've brought this up, where you say the NXT shows will be I'm just really not feeling it. But then they get the takeover and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
There was a shoot interview with Cody Rhodes that I was listening to recently where he was talking about the whole fuck the revival thing that's going on. And I think in when he was discussing it, he was like, well, when you're in NXT, you're at the Performance Center. So you're rehearsing that match, and then people talk about, oh, the Revival have these great matches at takeovers, they're just as good as the Young Bucks, and and he's like, well, the Young Bucks, they get to put together that match the second they meet the people, and then have maybe 2 hours to go over it, and then they get in the ring and they have amazing matches, pretty much on the spot. Whereas in NXT, they have the Performance Center, and then they have a set amount of time. So they get to practice that match for about 3 weeks or a month or so to actually go over it and rehearse it. So yeah, it better damn well be the best fucking match that you can put it out there if you've been able to actually go through it that long.
I could see that.
And that's actually a really good point, and I didn't think about that.
I could see that, but he left something out, which, could throw a little bit of a wrench in there, is that NXT has gone on the road. So they're not at the Performance Center as much as they used to be.
So, no, they're not at the Performance Center all the time, but that's actually a good point. So whenever I listen to Brian Alvarez or Dave Meltzer, whenever they talk about going on the, watching house shows, they'll at times say this match with Asuka and Ember Moon was just, it was a snore, it was boring or whatever. But then they get the takeover and it's amazing. So there has to
that match with them yesterday was great.
Getting some. Oh yeah, it was. So there has to be some sort of disconnect there, where at the live shows they're just kind of going through the motions, and then when they do go home to the Performance Center, they're really working out those matches and going through detail by detail. I can only imagine them everybody loves the Bayley Sasha Banks match from the first Brooklyn Takeover. I can only imagine how much time they actually spent going through that match. Now that Cody brought that up, and now that I'm thinking about it, because that match, story-wise was amazing, the story that they told, and then everything was damn near perfect. There were no real botches or miscues or anything like that in that match that I could think of.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
But yeah, anyway, John.
Hold on, let me say this. I think that this part might even be more. All right, you know what? Because people really don't like listening to NXT, so let me wrap it up on this. There are times where they do have those one-off matches that on the regular show that turn out to be extremely good. You look at both of Cassius Ohno's matches with Tommy and then his other one with Aleister Black.
Oh yeah,
you could have put either of those matches on a
but that's the thing. It's with the independent guys because they're used to doing that.
Yeah,
they can just get in the ring and just be like, all right, they can call it in there and just be like, I'm going to do this. And they're like, okay, I know how to sell it, and they do it.
So, AOP. I think AOP is fine. Are you on board with them yet?
They're okay. They'll be fine.
I mean, shoot, you put them in there with Sanity. It's no longer Gargano and Ciampa, no longer a revival. Like, now you got to actually work with some guys that, and they put on a damn good match yesterday. All right, let's move along. So, Cena and Corbin, F it. What we got next?
Yeah, Corbin's dead. He's dead. It's over. It's over. I don't care anymore.
Can we send him back to NXT like he wants to send people back to ROH? Yo, you send him to NXT now.
No, we're not sending him back to NXT. We're sending him back to FCW.
Let's send him back down there now.
No, we're sending him to
all
OVW.
Those ROH guys that are there now he could really scream
can make fun of him.
Yeah, now he could really scream that at those guys.
No, but he comes back to NXT and they're like, "Hey, welcome back to FCW." They start getting things wrong about him, or OVW or something like that.
Let him be the indie killer that he wanted to be. What was our next match? I have a list.
It's Natalya versus Naomi.
Yeah.
For the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship.
I came in about halfway through this match. And it looked really typical. It looked really status quo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
really
okay.
was.
I'm okay with the result.
So am I. Yeah, this was just your typical main event women's match on a SmackDown show. Nothing really special. I thought it was okay. Your finish was Naomi tries to go for a split leg moonsault, and Natty does the same thing she did against Charlotte. Got the knees up, and Naomi crashed. And sure enough, sharpshooter makes Naomi tap out, and Natalya is your new WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. If you had asked me a year ago, if Natalya was ever going to win a WWE Championship again, I would have laughed in your fucking face and said no.
I didn't even see her winning today, but then again, I didn't know the build-up for the match.
But here's the thing. Once Natalya actually beat Charlotte in that Fatal 5-Way and got the opportunity, I was like, I think they're actually going to pull the trigger on Natalya.
All right.
And I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Carmella cash in on her.
On Natalya?
Either that or this is what's going to happen. Remember when we talked about how, why haven't they done Natalya versus Charlotte? Maybe they do Natalya versus Charlotte. Charlotte wins. Carmella cashes in on her that way.
I'm not really in a rush for Carmella to cash in.
Neither am I, because I don't want to see her with the championship.
I want to forget about her having a briefcase, but it's kind of hard to do that because
I wish that what happened with Corbin happened with Carmella.
Darn. I wouldn't mind it because it's kind of the reverse Money in the Bank for the men's, how all of them just kept winning in the beginning. Until more recently.
Oh no, I like the idea and that people can lose Money in the Banks, because you don't want it to always feel like, oh well, it's guaranteed. You kind of actually want that doubt of well, even though they have it, they can actually lose.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean?
I kind of don't even want to think about Carmella. Like when these women have their matches, if Carmella doesn't come, I don't really care. I don't even want to talk about her because she's not in it. I don't like how quickly Naomi had to tap, though, because the belt's supposed to mean something to her. They even got it to glow and whatnot, and it's supposed to be such a special thing to her. She's even crying when she loses it. Well, why do you tap out so fast? Where's your see? This is what happens when I'm at my mama's house and she's up there screaming. See, I can't do that. I'm in the hood. I'm in the hood. God,
I kind of wish Natalya would have just... What?
No, keep going. You kind of wish Natalya...
I kind of wish Natalya would have sat there and just ripped the Christmas lights off that belt.
Oh.
Because remember, she was just
I didn't even really see, the actual belt, though. Didn't really pay much attention to it.
Well, I mean, Natalya comes out with it and it glows. So I imagine there's probably some switch that she pushes or
flips on. It's going to be a different one. It's definitely going to be different. They're not keeping that thing. Like,
no. That's why I said I kind of wish that she would have just, for shits and giggles, just like torn the lights out of it.
I wouldn't have minded that. And you know what? If you want to keep your heat, do it right in Naomi's face while she's crying.
Yep.
While she's crying. That'd be good. What was next?
Eat your tears and take your lights.
What was next?
You're going to feel this glow. What was it?
I think
Big Cass and Big Show.
Oh, God, yeah. We could definitely go short on this.
You said they're completely done with Naomi?
As far as her being champion.
Oh, a champion? Yeah, it's
done there.
It's never happened. I don't think it's ever happening again.
Because they didn't really give her a legit shot. Like, I mean, they gave her a shot. They let her hold it, but
they let her hold it. She had a long run, actually.
I just don't think that they really did anything with her as champion.
Right? Yeah, I don't think there was actual investment in her. I never got that. I got that there's investment in Carmella. I got that there's some sort of investment in Lana, even though they're making her lose all the time. There's investment in Charlotte. There's investment in Alexa Bliss. I don't see that in Naomi whatsoever.
Right.
The same way that even though Natalya is champion right now, I don't see any investment in her either.
Nah. I mean, I would hope that they put some in her because, you know.
I want them to put investment into everybody, but I don't believe that that's what they're going to do.
No. And there's a story behind her getting that title. Did they, like, leading up into this, did they play up to it at all or no?
What story are you talking about?
This of her like not being able to get that shot, you know, and she's been there for years. She's been the leader of those women, but she just never got the shot, even though she was one of the better workers all that time, and she had to wait her turn. Did they play up that at all?
They didn't really play up into that specifically, no.
Then you're right. There's no investment in it at all. Nope. Now let's just blow past that Big Show and Cass thing.
So here's what happened. So now I'm like about to cross into North Carolina, I think at this point.
Okay.
And I hear, it's Big Show versus Cass. It's coming up. And then Enzo comes out, and then he starts his promo. And the second, I was so tired of his promo, and the second Big Cass's music hit and cut that motherfucker off, I started laughing, and I was like, oh, right, they have to have a match. And I turned it off. So
good enough. Actually, what was next?
I didn't see it. So
I saw it. Now I ain't nothing to talk about.
Apparently, Big Cass won.
It was not good. I mean, Enzo became one of the baby oil boys. He squirted a bunch of baby oil on himself to get himself out of the cage. I'm not welcoming him into the baby oil boys though, so he could hold that. He used that to get out the cage. He took a bro kick, and that was the end of him.
No.
That was it.
I have a question though.
Go ahead.
I have a question though. Did Big Show land a punch?
I think he did, but he had kind of like a cast on his hand. Like his hand was wrapped up really heavily.
So exactly what I thought. Remember, I called this.
Go ahead.
Where I said that, okay, so the angle that they're doing is that he just took out Big Show's hand, so that when he lands the punch, they can say they're going to have Cass kick out of it, so that they can say Cass kicked out of the punch. That's what happened?
I guess. I paid very little attention to it. I think he hit him, but again, his hand was all wrapped up. They were playing up the whole it's not 100% thing, blah, blah, blah. What was next? We're done with that. What was next?
No, listen. When I
talk about
when I tell you what's next, you're going to tell me to skip this one too.
Please
Randy
don't.
Orton versus Rusev.
Oh, God. All right, you just said that. Wait till you see the chat.
Why are we Daniel Bryaning?
This hoodie got over in my Discord.
That hoodie. That was so unnecessary.
Rusev goes to destroy this guy on the outside before the bell rings. The bell, I mean, let's be real. This might have been one of the best sells of the RKO of all time, though.
Yo, yeah, the sell was ridiculous.
That sell was dumb clean. And Rusev sells finishers well. If you can remember, let's go back to WrestleMania a couple years ago when he sold the stunner. And I actually did a reaction to it.
Like, his stunner was ridiculous.
He took the bump and then flew out of the... he sells. But I think that's all that we're going to talk about with this. Because, like, the disrespect to... What was the reason for this? Do you have an answer to
why are they Daniel Bryaning Rusev?
They are.
There's only one thing that I can possibly think of in all of this that is the reason why they're doing it to this guy.
Go.
Someone does not like the fact that Rusev, that Rusev is legit married to Lana.
I find Lana less and less attractive every time I see her.
No, but it's the only thing I can think of. Because think about it.
Ever since then.
Think about what they tried to do. Yeah, they tried to break them up. They tried to make her a single star. Then they put her with Dolph Ziggler. And then now they separated them again. And now Rusev is on his own. And they still fucked the guy over. What did he do?
He's gonna catch this Bray Wyatt. He's gonna catch this Bray treatment. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna catch this Bray treatment. A guy that you know is athletic, that you know could work, that is really, really good. They say,
I actually feel
now he's gonna job. And he's gonna be a nobody. We're gonna bury him.
See, but here's the difference with Bray Wyatt. I just got bored because it was like, all right, it's the promos and like it's he's supposed to have these magical powers, but he doesn't actually use them. Rusev is actually like a wrestler. Like there's no gimmick involved here. Other
Bray
than,
was
the whole...
too. Bray, those matches before they started jobbing this guy out, he was having great matches.
His first match was an Inferno match with Kane.
Fuck that, he's wrestling Kane. Okay, then let's think about the match with Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble. Excellent.
Yeah, there was an excellent match.
The guy could work, and he showed you that he can. But then he hit John Cena.
I know he hit John Cena. Rusev hits John Cena all the fucking time.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, fine, I got the John Cena treatment, got it. And then he wins the U.S. title back, and then, he got John Cena by Roman Reigns. And then he's like, all right, I'm on SmackDown, and John Cena's out making movies. That motherfucker took a hiatus from making movies just to beat Rusev. In a match where you could probably just let Rusev win. It's a fucking flag match.
It hurts.
Cena didn't have to eat a pin or anything.
It's like the E knows the guys that I like, and they say, yeah, we're gonna bury those guys.
Dude, they buried the shit out of Rusev tonight, man. That shit was so unnecessary.
Well, let's move along into a match that I know you would like to talk about.
Not really.
Sasha Banks, that's her name, right? Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks. Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking about Tybo, Billy Blanks. Sasha Banks. No, I was actually combining Bliss and Banks. An Alexa Bliss. Didn't care for this match?
So, again, I was in the car.
Okay.
So I kind of looked on and off on this match. And from what I heard and from what I kind of got some glimpses of, this just felt like a Raw Women's main event.
The match was fine. The match was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
That's all I could think of. It was just like, oh, this match.
It wasn't great. It wasn't like you have to go out of your way to watch it. I will say Alexa.
Like I said, it's like a match you can just watch on Raw.
I will say Alexa, for the most part, dominated this match.
Yes.
And then I see her get. So you and I had a brief Skype conversation about why I think that Sasha Banks should get the Roman Reigns treatment.
Yep.
And I still stand by it. How do you feel about Sasha Banks's push? Or whatever this is that they're doing with her. Her opportunities. That she seems to get that no one else can get.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because the women's division is just so bad now, but I don't care about either one of them. I just care about
if they did this with Sasha, if they let Sasha be the character that we know that she can be.
Because
if she actually held the title and actually held it, then I would be okay with it.
Well, because remember, like when it first started with Sasha, it was just like all I could do was talk about Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever really ever hear me say anything about Sasha anymore?
Well, I mean, I'm not really around anymore, but no. Nah,
But
not
like
really.
even when we talk in like
No.
like on Skype or something like that.
No.
Do you ever hear me?
Oh, you didn't. So since you didn't see the match, you didn't see Sasha protecting her hairline for a lot of the match. It's like her hair was gonna fall off. She kept grabbing at her hairline. It was so funny. Go ahead.
This is it always goes back to that with you.
She got the LeBron. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I don't care about any of the women right now. Our champions are Sasha Banks. I'm over it. And Natalya, and it's not necessary. Like, it's not like I don't want to see Natalya with the title because, again, you asked me 4 years ago. I was an advocate to say, like, why are they misusing Natalya? They can just, give her the title and actually get a run with her. But I can see that they're not actually going to invest anything in her, so I don't care.
That's where I was going to go with it. I was going to say we know they're not going to do anything with her.
The only women that I have cared about thus far, ever since they've been on the main roster, are Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, and that's it.
From this match, from Alexa losing, do you see...
And James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth is a great woman.
Yeah, he's Santino. So, all right. Do you see... Because I'm so surprised, a little bit. I'm a little bit surprised that Nia didn't come out for this match at all. But now
that's what I was waiting for.
Now that Sasha lost, do you see her going to Nia?
You mean Sasha won?
I mean, I'm thinking about Alexa again. Now that Alexa lost, do you see her going to Nia for help?
That's what I thought. That's actually what I thought too when it happened. I was like, now Alexa, I think, can be a little bit more chummy with Nia because it's not like, well, now Nia can't be like, well, I want my championship opportunity against you. She doesn't have the belt anymore.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think she's actually going to go after Nia, enlist her help, and try to win the title back that way. Which I'll be okay with.
And I'm with that. And if that's the story that they're trying to go with, and that's why they put the belt on Sasha, then I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. If this doesn't lead to Alexa and Sasha together, Alexa and Sasha, what the fuck? Alexa, God dang it, Blackjack, you just let me curse. They're going to demonetize the video now. Flipping you, so I might as well get all my shit in now. No, I can't do that. I still got a kid over there that's right. All right. Yeah, it should lead to Nia and Alexa together. What's next?
I feel like this was the U.S. title match?
Oh no,
no,
we got Bray.
It was Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt.
Were you home for this?
I watched it in the car here and there. I was just like, Bray Wyatt came out and they showed the trailer first for like the match, and I was like, okay. And then Bray Wyatt, and I was just like, I was listening to Cole, and I was like, this is the dumbest build for a match ever. Bray Wyatt is mad and doesn't understand why the Balor Club, and they kept saying like, oh, he doesn't understand why Finn has such the following that he has with his fans, known as the Balor Club. And I was like, I hate everything about this. I hate everything.
It was getting stupid. But the match. Tell me, because I have my thoughts and opinions on the match. Since you watched from your phone, I want to see if yours differ from mine. So I want to see if you noticed what I noticed.
So, I'm going to be honest. The first 2 minutes of it, I turned it off. Here's exactly what happened. It was just like, all right, Finn came out with his face paint. Because like, for the first time, I was going to sit there and I checked and I was like, all right, I just want to see his face paint. Is he doing anything special? No, not really. All right, and he came in the ring. They going to do anything weird? Nope. All right, I don't care anymore. But then I turned it back on.
Ah, okay. Let's go.
I thought the match was.
The match
was actually pretty good.
There we go. All right. Now why? Yeah, it kind of went in and out when you were saying that, but yeah, go ahead. So why do you say that?
Well, I don't exactly know, but it just felt like in the beginning they let Finn get his shit in and show like, oh, he's the demon. You know, when he's the demon, he taps into like a special power or whatever. And it gave you a reason to show but obviously like, all right, yeah. But you know Bray Wyatt has beaten him when he was normal fucking Finn. And so then Bray got his shit in. And I don't know. It's not like I don't know. Maybe I didn't think. Of course, like Bray wasn't going to win this match.
All right, let me carry here.
Yeah.
Let me carry. Because this is a match I enjoyed. I enjoyed pretty much all of it because I like the story it told. But the thing that was most important to me with this match was the one thing that we kept for years now have been just, it's like we were the only ones in the beginning until recently that people are starting to catch on. We caught on to this halfway through his NXT run. He puts on his demon paint and nothing changes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I thought it was awesome the one spot where
this match
Bray
it was a different persona.
Right, where Bray like does his thing and then Finn just stands like right up to him and gets like right in his face. I thought that was actually pretty awesome. Even
the very beginning, how the match started, Finn would not get up off of all fours. It's like he stayed down like a little demon. So it's like there's mannerisms that we're getting here, and I'm like, thank you. That's all. Like I don't care about the wrestling style. Show me a different personality. Show me different mannerisms. Show me a reason why this guy is different when he taps into this different being.
Yeah, and it felt like it tonight.
Right. Now I can have some faith in because now I can say, all right, if they do that and they build on that character-wise and they start putting in a different sort of move set little by little, then now we got what they've been wanting. And then I could get on board with them. But the Finn that they had all this time, I wasn't on board with that. They had to show me this tonight, and it was a step in the right direction for me. As for the match, the story was simple. Bray could not figure this guy out. This guy was in Bray's head. And the supernatural Bray Wyatt going against a supernatural Finn Balor. It scared him. Anytime that Bray wanted to go on that offense, and anytime he thought he had the upper hand, it's like an inner being in Finn Balor would just wake him right back up. That last part that you just mentioned, where Bray hit him with some move, I forget what it was, but then he started doing the reverse spider crawl to him, and Finn just rose up. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Just finally, I could say something good about the guy. Because we know it's there. It's like, why aren't they doing it? It's simple. He's a different character, so make him a different character. Mm-hmm. And that's what I got out of the match. The match to me was more so about storytelling than it was about the ring work. And that's the thing in WWE that you need. What happened? Was it a comment?
Yeah. Supernatural Bray Wyatt. What's his power? Avoiding doing the job.
Absolutely. But no, I'm talking about what WWE tries to paint to you. Right. That's the thing that is most important in WWE. No one really watches WWE for ring work. We watch WWE more, or you're supposed to, because this is what WWE presents to you. They want to present to you their characters. Entertainment. They want to present to you their characters. They try to make them larger than life. They try to entertain you. You're not there, or at least they don't want you there for in-ring work, which hints why everybody who's come through there that you know is a damn good worker has been watered down completely. They're not there for that. So this match wasn't really about the ring work. It was more so about the character and the story and the entertainment that they were trying to provide to you. And I was okay with it all the way. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts before we move on?
No, we can keep going.
Somebody's in there. But
I think you hit it for the most part.
Oh, we got another good match.
Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship.
I got exactly what I expected out of this. You?
It was better than I thought it was going to be, actually. So
it's Sheamus and Cesaro. You're going to get a good match with them.
Well, yeah. I was just worried about because I've seen Dean and Seth like against each other. I've never seen them together really. I mean, yeah, the
You mean
Shield
since
when
the
it was
breakup?
yeah.
Right.
But like even going back to like FCW, like in FCW, it was them going against each other.
Yeah.
Right. So, and yeah, they were a part of the Shield, but they're like 3-man matches, not like 2-man.
When it was tag team, it was Roman and Seth.
Right.
Never Dean in a tag team partner alone, just them two.
Yeah, so I was a little worried about how that would work out, and overall, it was fine. I think there was only one thing that concerned me.
Go.
When Dean was supposed to have his comeback and everything, it was like the crowd was flat. They were pretty flat. That was really kind of the only downer in that match for me, though. But fortunately, it wasn't the true comeback.
It's going to take some time for them to get to warm back up to Dean and Seth. But with them together...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People want that. People go fucking nuts for it. Fucking Red Rollins tonight.
Red Rollins? What's this?
That was my joke. You know that the Red Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, tonight it was Red Rollins, not Red Robin. Red Rollins because he was in all red.
Oh, okay.
Just stop overthinking it.
I forgot that he was in red until you just said it. So here's one thing about Dean and Seth that I liked. I do like the way they work together, but once they went down the stretch, it reminded you so much of how they worked together in the Shield, where it was just really chaotic, a bunch of tandem stuff, and just how do you stop these two when they're clicking the way they click down the stretch of that match. Even though you have Sheamus and Cesaro, who's a very strong tag team. And personally, I didn't want them to lose this match. I think that the story is better if I can understand the story in Dean and Seth winning. But I think the story in Sheamus and Cesaro retaining would have been even better. Because you could say, like, now the crowd has to get reinvested into Dean and Seth, right? How do you get invested in them? You got to give them some sympathy. Where do you get sympathy from? You get sympathy from the chase. You get Dean and Seth together.
The chase was them getting together. That was the chase.
But is that good enough? Like you just said, the crowd was flat. The crowd was flat on Dean's, on his.
Well, it was to be fair, it was the comeback 5 minutes in the match, and I think everybody knows that that's not really the finish.
I'm more into long term stuff. I don't like the instant.
But here's the thing. The story was that if they reunited again, they were going to show the world, the whole division, just how powerful. Like they're still as good as like the old Shield. So I mean, you can't have the two guys from the Shield, which were like one of the most dominant teams of all time in WWE, lose this match. The chase was, are they going to get back together again? And when they got back together, you're like, oh shit, it's going to be like old times, which is why people popped. They almost did the double powerbomb spot.
All right. See, yes, I haven't had a debate in a while. Let me do this. All right, I understand you. I completely do. But I just want to draw some imagination here. This was a strong tandem back when they were the Shield. How long ago was it? When did they break up?
2014, 13.
At least 3 years has passed since then. And they've done a lot since then. They've won titles, championships, that whole thing. Sheamus and Cesaro, very good tag team. You have Sheamus and Cesaro beat them because they're the bar. And they say, okay, you guys are a good tag team. Shit, I'm about to cuss again. Things have changed since then. We're the bar now. You keep credibility on those guys. You keep them strong. You said that the chase was them getting together. But, all right, if the chase was them getting together, now what?
Now they just go be the fucking Shield again. That's all people want.
That's not good enough.
I know it's not good enough, but that's what people want, and that shit got over, so they're the Shield again.
That's how things die fast, because you already got your nut off. It's done. Now what? See, I want to jerk it a little bit more before I get my nut off.
That's gross. Don't ever say that. Don't ever want to hear you say that ever again.
I'll find another analogy next time. But you know what I mean here. I want to play with this thing a little bit more before I...
Oh, come on. Really?
I did. I legitimately meant... I didn't mean... I could see why you... All right, whatever. Find the words for me, please. Yeah, it's hard now, because now it's...
You're not looking for the payoff right now.
I just want to enjoy something more before, because we know once they get together, I mean, they're together already, but now we got to give them something to fight for. If we already got the payoff, which was them getting together, great. But, now what? Now we got to get them to the titles. So we got them together, we got the playoff, and just instantly give them the titles?
Here's the thing. Because in storyline, the way that they built it was that Dean couldn't trust Seth, and Seth couldn't trust Dean. Well, no, that Dean couldn't trust Seth because of what he did to him in the past. And it's justifiable why. And then Seth had his worries too, and that was the whole beef and everything before they got together again.
Can I ask you a question?
Because
go ahead.
What? Because it's built that way, if you have them lose tonight, why would Dean think, oh, yeah, let's keep trying this, I guess, you know? It just, I don't know, it just falls flat. You know, because sometimes we get mad at WWE for building up something and then not capitalizing on the opportunity. This is one of the times where they did, and I'm not mad at them.
You said the payoff was in them getting together. So now they got a double payoff.
Yeah.
Why are we giving them two payoffs like back to back? What are they working to?
Well,
at this point they're done. So what is there for me to get?
No. It's not done. It's not done. They still have to defend.
But what's there for me to get behind? The Hardys came out. They got their pop. They got their payoff. Then what?
Right.
What was their? They instantly won the titles. Then what?
They were supposed to be broken, but you know.
Hey, find something else to do. Then what?
And then yeah, that was the thing. They were supposed to be broken, and then they weren't broken, and then everybody was just like, "Oh, this is dumb."
He said, "Well, this ain't getting monetized."
Oh, great! Oh, great! This is great. We got the Hardy Boys back.
Let me give you another example of what you're talking about, and it kind of goes in favor for me. I mean, of course, anytime that you debate somebody, you're going to find things that go in favor for yourself. Let me give you this example. Let's go to SummerSlam 2013, was it? The last one at the Staples Center.
Uh-huh.
Daniel Bryan beats John Cena. The payoff was Daniel Bryan actually getting the title shot that he got from John Cena. He worked his ass off.
Yeah, and he beat John Cena clean.
Okay, let's say he walked out as champion. The end. You don't get your WrestleMania 30 payoff. You don't get your big moment. You don't get that whole Occupy Raw. You don't get any of that other stuff.
Okay, all right. Time out. You're really going to use this example?
You said strike while the iron's hot. Was Daniel Bryan not hot when he won that title?
Yeah, and you know what the plan was supposed to be? Wasn't supposed to be that.
I know it wasn't, but it happened. I'm not talking about what was supposed to happen. I'm talking about what we got. We got a payoff, like you said, which was Daniel Bryan getting his shot and winning. Correct. And then they took it from him, right? So let's compare that to Ambrose and Rollins getting together. They got together. There's your payoff. Now let's take something for you and you work for it. The point that I'm making here is the crowd got
that could happen. That could happen tomorrow.
The point that I'm making here is the crowd got behind the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Here, from what we have at this moment, what is there for them to do? What is there for the crowd to get behind? Now remember, you go 7 days ago, and this crowd was luke cold at best for these two.
Mm-hmm.
So you put them together, the crowd gets lukewarm. They do the fist bump, the crowd gets hot. They pop for it. Okay. Now let's put the titles on them. Boom, done. Why do I care about them anymore? We already got the payoffs that we needed. We're done here.
So here's one thing to consider. What was it that people liked the most about the Shield?
That they were dominant.
Yeah. Duh.
Is that what you were going with?
Yeah.
Because I already went with Sheamus and Cesaro. You beat them and they say, okay, you guys were great in your time. Now step your game up. Things have changed since then. It's easy. That's easy.
There are other tag teams.
Besides, you said, what was the Shield? What did people like the Shield for? This isn't the Shield.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It's two of them.
It's two. It's not the entire Shield. The Shield was dominant.
Listen, they popped.
This is Dean and Seth.
They pop. Listen, Wyzatv. This is a terrible wrestling explanation of a story, but they essentially popped for the buildup of two guys fisting each other.
Wait, see, but you get on me.
But I gave you fair warning. See, that's the difference. I gave you warning. You didn't give me any warning.
It just was going. It just sometimes you just gotta. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta go with it and wait for the payoff. There you go. There you go.
Just saying, they all went crazy for a fist bump.
Okay, good.
They lost their fucking minds for it.
Good. Now sit back for the ride.
That was a Shield thing, correct? That's all this is. It's nostalgia. They're like, oh shit, the Shield is back together.
Not really, because you need your Roman and your Reigns. You need them. For that to be the Shield, for me to believe in their dominance, they need Uwa.
No, they don't.
They need the Uwa.
They were both WWE champions. They were both United States champions. One was a two-time.
You're telling me that this Shield is going to be as good as they were, even without Roman?
Yep.
Stop that. Stop that. There's no way this Shield is as good without Roman.
Maybe that's why Roman Reigns lost tonight.
I wanted them to come out and help Roman.
Nah, they can't do that. Nah, because you know the second that happens, all of a sudden they're gonna turn on them. You can't do that.
They're gonna turn on who?
They're gonna turn on the idea of the Shield coming back together.
Who was they?
The crowd. The crowd ain't gonna pop for the crowd.
The Shield was predominantly heel in their run.
Right. No,
they're not supposed to pop for it. If they come back and help Roman, that means that Roman's heel. Isn't that what everybody wants?
Correct, but that's
which way are we going with this, Blackjack? Don't let me corner you.
Listen, that's correct, but that's not what WWE wants.
It's not. But I just said what I would have liked to have seen at that point.
Listen, WWE wants
Reigns gets Reigns gets the title. That's what WWE wants. Reigns turns heel. Reigns turns heel. That's what everybody else wants. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. It is a win-win. Everybody wins.
Listen, it is a win-win, but whenever we discuss anything booking-wise, you always have to look at it from what does WWE want, not what do we want. Yeah, but that's not what we like. Okay, so in that instance, they gave us what we wanted because he's not champion and he ate the fucking pin. We're getting ahead of ourselves. You got anything else to say about this tag match?
I enjoyed it. That's it. God dang it, Black! Oh, I thought I lost you again. I heard like a Wyatt sound. It was like, and I'm like, all right, I don't know what that is. What we got next? We still got 3 more matches here.
AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship with special guest referee Shanathie McMahon. You know what? For a special ref match, this match was actually really fucking good.
I'll say this. This is the best match that they've had in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they performed as well as they did. Shane didn't get too involved. You know, he played his role right down the middle. It was just a good match.
The bumps were appropriate when necessary. I like the fact that Kevin Owens that pop-up powerbomb was sold the right way,
mm-hmm.
where Kevin Owens, I think he like hit Shane or something accidentally, or was supposed to be on accident. Oh no, I think he threw Shane into the ropes to crotch AJ and then get the pop-up powerbomb, and because of that, Shane slowly got to the cover. where and
he didn't get the 3 count. That was when AJ got his leg on the rope.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, Kevin Owens visually got the 3 count, but in reality he didn't. So yeah, I feel like the ref bumps were appropriate. It wasn't too overkill, and altogether they had a really good match.
The issue I have with it is if they really are trying to work towards Shane and Owens, this doesn't really help that because Shane called it down the middle. I mean, they might want to say, well, Owens thought he had a 3 count, but no, AJ's leg was on that rope the moment he got pinned, like from the count of 1.
No. AJ kicked out of that actually.
No, there was a pop-up powerbomb where AJ got his foot on the rope, like at the count of 1.
There was one afterwards, but that's not the one I'm talking about. There was one earlier where, he legit kicked out of it, but it was because Shane didn't get to the cover fast enough.
Let me say this. Before this match, I was thinking, and I'm talking about like a day or two ago, where I was just thinking to myself, AJ Styles has a finisher that's named after himself, yet WWE won't let him use it as a finisher. The Styles Clash that he's made famous around the world, literally. You know how they love to say around the world? Well, he literally made it famous around the world.
It's hilarious because, all right, let me see if you're going to go the same route that I think you're going. Because I thought about this too. All around the world, he's using the Styles Clash, right? He goes to New Japan. It's the most dangerous move.
Because he injured a couple people.
He injured a couple people with it. No one kicks out of it. Mm-hmm. Here in WWE, whatever. It's a fucking another move. People can kick out of it whenever they want.
Yeah. Because now they want to let's get over something that we can get behind, the phenomenal forearm, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Because we want to use that as your... So he hits the Styles Clash, and Owens kicks out of it, and I'm like, dang it, I was just thinking that, it upset me. But then he hits him with the phenomenal forearm, and he just makes this face, like he was just angry, and he picked up Owens, and he hit him with the Styles Clash, and they sold it on commentary, they said, with an emphatic Styles Clash, they even said that's the end of it, and he pinned him with it, and I'm like, thank you, finally they used his own move that he got famous, that has his stamp on it, and they let him get over with it, and it just looked and felt good that they let him do it. But where were you going to go with that?
No, that's kind of what. Well, I wasn't going to go that far with it, but it was just like, here's this movie made famous over in Japan. It was the most lethal move ever, and this fucker doesn't use it.
Yeah. And it's weird how somebody could get hurt with that move. All you got to do is put your darn head back. Like, I'm looking at Owens. I'm looking at Owens dangle, and he put it, as soon as AJ got his arms locked, he just put his head back. Simple.
Well, here's the thing. That is an unnatural move to do when taking a move, usually. Usually you're never taking a bump where you're having this to lay flat like that. Mm-hmm. And if it is, it's a move where it's like, all right, it's really obvious. Like if you're taking an X Factor from X-Pac, it's like, all right, no shit, that's what you're going to do. But with Triple H and the pedigree, some people, he's broken some people's necks with that too. They remember the one guy where he jumped really high and that motherfucker tucked his head? Yeah, he broke his neck.
Yeah.
So, it's natural, because on most moves, you're tucking your neck. It was the same thing with Cena and the Exploder. Cena tucked his neck and didn't get all the way over. And that's why
with Nakamura, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why that landing looks so damn nasty.
I agree. So we got 2 more matches. We got hard body clanging and banging Mahal
versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And I actually tweeted this out before the match started. I was like, so we got a lot of happy moments tonight. This is where the pay-per-view starts to go downhill.
Hater. There was one thing I found hilarious in this. It was done a couple times. When Nakamura goes shoulder width apart and does the come on, why was it so OD tonight? He was holding that. No, when he does the come on, the
come on. Oh yeah, he really wanted to feel out the crowd for that one. He was like, "I'm not doing this until you start making noise. I want to know you're ready for this. Come on!"
It was funny. I will say I didn't
twice,
really.
Too.
I will say I really didn't pay much attention to the match. This was Nakamura's first loss, right?
Did you sit here saying hater?
Yeah, I mean, because you're a hater. But, like, was this Nakamura's first loss?
First singles loss, yes.
Okay. The reason I didn't pay too much attention for the match was because there was one more coming. I had to make sure that all my stream was set up, and I knew that Jinder was winning. Plus, I got my daughter writing something 100 times, so I had to check in on that.
That's what I had, too. I had Jinder winning, and that's why I said, yeah, it's going downhill from here.
How do you feel about Jinder's finisher? I feel like he needs a different one. I think a clothesline from hell would be perfect for him. I think we talked about this before.
I don't think we have. So when I first saw him use it, I was like, that could actually work. Mm-hmm. Now I keep seeing it. It just looks too weak.
I think it's because of the setup. I think the setup makes it look silly.
Yeah, because of how he has to set up what is essentially a side slam.
And it's just it's all that stuff is just unnecessary. So what finisher would you give him? Like, for such a big guy, I think he needs something impactful.
Well, now that Baron Corbin's dead, you can give him the end of days.
The end of days is silly. Give him deep six. Well, he's not tall enough for the deep six, is he?
He's 6'5".
But Baron looks dumb tall, though.
He does.
Whatever. End of days needs to go away forever. Deep six is a great move.
Give him he might as well just do a rock bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. People, he would get heat. Which is what you want for him. But he would definitely get heat.
He's already essentially doing a rock bottom with a Cobra chokehold.
Yeah. Let's move on to this Fatal 4-Way, the last match on the show. Want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
It was a match, all right.
We got the Fatal 4-Way: Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. And this match started off on fire.
Wait, hold on. And the stipulation was if Brock loses, he and Heyman were leaving WWE.
Which I was under the impression, all right, guy probably still loses, and then he takes a couple of months off, and he comes back anyway because that's what he does. But he still was supposed to be booked for some shows, so you can't really do that. So you had to find a way in which Brock Lesnar would still retain here or win or whatever. The match started off hot. Extremely hot, and it was all Braun Strowman. I mean, you get stuff with Roman and Joe, which no one really cared about because the story was on the outside with Strowman just completely eviscerating Brock Lesnar.
God.
What we got?
No, that just him killing Lesnar.
And he did it over and over and over. Putting him through multiple announce tables.
That shit was amazing.
And here's an issue that I have with Lesnar, who has to be the highest paid guy on the roster, right? If not Cena, then him.
Right.
All right. For a guy to be getting paid that much and to making as little appearances as he does, anytime he's in a match is short. Anytime he's in a multiple man match, he's out for it more than half the time. Mm-hmm. What are we paying this guy for?
It's a suplex. That's it. He gets to the ring, he suplexes people so people can count along, and then he hits an F5.
This is
pins,
why
picks up his check and leaves.
This is why I'm so tight on the fans. You're booing the wrong people. This guy comes in, gets paid all this money to essentially do nothing. He even tells you he doesn't care. He tells you he doesn't. And he comes in, he'll be in a match like this, a match of Fatal 4-Way that everybody's hyped for. He gets put out, essentially the Roman Reigns Royal Rumble treatment, and he just leaves. He's out. He's Daniel Bryan now. And then he comes back and works the last 3-4 minutes of the match. suplexes a couple guys, can't do a thing to Braun Strowman, which is going to set up their match. But it does nothing. Nothing. This guy is essentially getting paid to make appearances.
Here's the problem. I'll tell you why Brock gets cheered in these situations. Roman Reigns is involved. If this match were just Braun versus Brock, or if this were just Braun, Joe versus Brock.
Braun got cheered versus Joe.
Yeah.
Reigns had nothing to do with that.
No. What I'm saying is that if Reigns is not involved in this, I think Brock gets booed in all this. But because Reigns is involved in this, people have this fear, and you even said it too in the watch stream, where it was just like, all right, Joe's here to eat the pin because they want to protect Reigns and Strowman. But then Reigns ate the pin.
I wasn't even saying for protection. I thought he was just there just for the pin because he wasn't doing anything in the match.
Okay.
Joe did next to nothing in this match. I mean, he ran up, he pulled up on dudes and gave him the bear hug from the back, aka Felice Johnson, but that was about it.
Yeah, he really did not get his shit in.
Yeah. So that's why I thought that he was going to eat the pin. Not necessarily to protect anyone. I mean, there's no way they're going to pin Braun. That's not happening. Reigns, it was possible, but I just thought Joe because he wasn't doing anything.
But again, I just think that if there isn't this one guy that everybody definitely, or not everybody, but most people definitely don't like in this match, then it would have, all the hate would have gone towards Brock. It's because
if you take out Reigns and you have in Joe and Strowman, I could see them getting behind those two because people are liking those two.
Yes, here's the thing. It's like I always say, and I'll not use Reigns in this example so that it doesn't seem like I'm just picking on him. It's all about who the guy is going up against, and that can flip sometimes reactions or make people react differently. So everybody was definitely cheering Jinder, like, he's beating Randy Orton. They put this belt on this guy. Haha, it's really funny. But then all of a sudden, Nakamura got a title shot.
I was still
reaction changed all of a sudden.
I was still like, yeah, hard body Mahal. See, I'm sticking to my guns, baby. I'm sticking to them. You're gonna have to kill me to get me up off of this one.
It's the same thing with like you can probably have like a really good,
unless it's Rusev. I'm turning coat if it's Rusev against Hardbody Mahal. I'm turning coat. We going Rusev on that one.
So I mean, you can have examples where it's like, oh hey, geez, I was trying to think. I had an example in my head, I forgot. But it's like, you'll have baby faces go up against a likable heel like Kevin Owens, and people were cheering Kevin Owens, and it's all good and stuff. But then, like, a baby face like Sami Zayn, or like someone like Johnny Gargano, or
that dude wasn't even on the show. He wasn't even there. Yo.
Yeah, Sami Zayn was not there.
Yo, he was in India somewhere. Go ahead.
But yeah, you get that guy in that match with them, and all of a sudden everything changes. It's like, oh, we like him. Fuck Kevin Owens. No, boo him now. Sometimes you can get the appropriate reaction depending on who the person involved in it all is. And okay. I think because Roman Reigns is involved in that, they're not going to boo Brock. They're going to boo the shit out of Roman.
I need people to leave Roman alone. They ain't bothering.
It's the same. Well, think about it. Like when it was Joe and Lesnar, people went crazy for Joe.
Yeah. But that's because of how Joe was booked. They started booking him right, at least for this match. Because, all right, we need somebody to look strong against Lesnar. So here, we'll make you strong. This is why I continue to say WWE knows how to book people. They just refuse.
Yeah, they can make a star whenever they want to. They just don't want to. They've chosen who they want to make a star.
If it's in the way of the Roman and the, but to be fair, they're not booking him the way that they're supposed to be booking him either, unless this is the reaction they want him to get. They do it when they want to. I don't understand why. WWE has the ability to pretty much just print money at will. And it's like they don't want it. They don't want it. But they rather cut pyro, they rather cut people's checks, they rather get rid of people on the roster, get rid of people backstage, instead of just printing this free money that they could have. I don't get it. It's so easy. It's to me, it's so easy. And it's not how would I book it? No, they have the ability to because they've shown it. And they just don't do it for everyone else. Or they don't do it consistently. They know what the crowd wants. Look at Braun Strowman. They're consistently booking this guy great. Okay.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, here's the other thing now. I think that they see people actually getting behind Braun, and now I think they're actually going to push him.
Oh, they're gonna cut the legs from him eventually.
See, here's the thing. I think that they may actually be giving up a little bit on Reigns here to let Braun.
Stop. They're not giving up on Reigns.
He just ate the pin on Brock.
Sir, relax your hopes.
He just ate the pin for Brock. I really do think they may be heading towards Braun versus Brock, and Braun's the one who takes the title off of Brock.
All right, so let I want to make sure that we're being clear here.
That was always supposed to be Roman's
I want to make sure that we're being clear. Are you talking about are you saying that they're sort of kind of de-pushing Roman?
Yes.
No. Roman is still going to be the face of this company. That's not going to change.
I don't think so. I mean,
sir, you're the same. You're the same one that wanted Dean Ambrose to be the face of this company.
He will be the pretty. What does that have to do with anything?
You fought adamantly for that because your feelings were in the way, and right now they're crowding you again. There's no way they're de-pushing it. If they were, Roman hasn't really been pushed like the way people are claiming. Let me finish this. Roman hasn't been being pushed the way people. Okay, go ahead.
Listen,
go ahead.
There's a firm difference between what I want and what they're doing.
Okay.
And again, the evidence right now is showing that I don't think they're really pushing Roman. And I think that they actually want Braun in the spot right now. Vince loves his big, tall, beefy motherfuckers. That's why they tried to push Baron. They gave him everything, and now all of a sudden, it's done. That's why they pushed. That's why they're pushing now. They're pushing Big Cass. That's the single star. That's why Braun Strowman is in this spot right now. They tried to do that a year ago, and that shit was not working with Braun. Now it's working, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go full steam with this now. Again, who was the guy who destroyed Brock tonight? Braun. Who didn't have to eat a pin tonight? Braun. Who ate the pin? Roman fucking Reigns. And you know me, I will. What?
Finish that last point.
The pin.
Finish the last point.
Who ate the pin? Why is it who ate the pin?
Roman had. Okay. Roman did.
Okay. Who didn't eat the pin?
Joe.
Who didn't get suplexed? Who didn't get suplexed tonight?
Let me know when you're finished. I gotta debunk you again.
Guess what you gotta say? Hey, listen. Guess what you get to tease from now on? Well, Braun Strowman didn't go to Suplex City.
Let me know when you're finished so I can debunk what you're saying.
Guess who they're building? They are building for Braun motherfucking Strowman. Now, listen, that's not to say that they ain't going to try to push Reigns as their little pretty boy, which is what, of course, yeah, they want that. But that doesn't mean that right now they aren't going to be like, wait, our beefy motherfucker that we wanted to get over a year ago didn't get it over, but now the crowd actually really likes him. Like, it's natural. Yeah, let's push them. Of course that's what they're doing.
I'm raising my hand now. Like, can I now?
All right, what do you want?
This is why I said that I wanted to be clear with what we were saying here. And give me a second because I think I just got something. RBI says we'll get to that in a minute. Excuse me. So I wanted to be clear with understanding what it is that you were saying as far as the de-pushing of Roman Reigns. And it's my immediate response was he's going to be the face of this company. Bar none, no matter what. I don't care what's going on, period. You said, or you agreed with me when I asked if they were de-pushing him. Answer me this. When's the last time that Roman Reigns held the title? The title.
Last year.
Give me a month.
April or May or June or something. It might have been June, actually. I can't remember when he was on a suspension.
Well over a year, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me know if you agree with me when I say this. I personally don't think that the reason why Roman isn't the champion or hasn't been the champion since, I personally don't think it's because of a doghouse or the doghouse because of the suspension. I don't
think that's it either, because they immediately tried to push him right back up.
Well, they put the U.S. title on to make people just shut up for a bit. But let me say this:
he also beat Undertaker too.
What does that even mean anymore? Undertaker's a broken down.
There are only two people who've done it.
Yeah, history books say that, but what do the fans say?
Hey, listen.
When that match was over, did you care? No.
What do you mean?
Did you care?
People booed the shit out of him.
I said you, sir. Did you care?
Sir,
I said, did you care? I said, did you care? Because here's what I do, and this is why when I talk to people, I always for example, I'll go to my Discord and they say, someone, I don't remember who it was, I wasn't paying attention to the name. They're like, people hate Nakamura now. I'm like, what people? Who? Because if we look at a wide variety of people, you can't say the actions of a few should be translated to everyone else, right? So this is why I'm asking you directly, because I want to equate it to you. I don't want to equate it to everyone else. That's why I'm asking you. How did you feel?
Okay.
How did you feel about Roman beating Taker? Did you care?
I said, fuck that guy.
I was under the impression.
Okay, I had a few different reactions to it, and it was this.
Sir, do you care now?
Huh?
Do you care now?
I mean,
do you care now that Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker?
Not really, but...
How long did it take you to get past the fact that Brock beat Taker? A lot longer than Roman.
Well, they milked that shit.
They're still milking it. Roman is still saying I retired The Undertaker. They're still milking it. You don't care.
Not really.
No.
Okay,
go
ahead. No. This is not on the level. This is nowhere near.
Sir, they beat the same person at WrestleMania.
Listen, this is not nearly on the level of Paul Heyman coming out every single week and going out like, I am the advocate for the man who is the 1 in 21. And like that motherfucker bragged about it every fucking second of his life.
But here's my point. It's not that big a deal. He beat The Undertaker. All right, so.
Well, yeah, because the streak's broken already, so it's not that big of a deal.
Exactly. Plus, not only that, but he beat a broken down man. Did you see that match? Sure you did, because we were watching it live. Did you look at that man? That man could barely walk to the ring.
Yes.
They should have put Undertaker on a cart, and he should have took the effing knee after the match. It's another story. But it's not that big. All right, he beat Taker. So what? The push isn't there. The only reason that he beat Taker is just so that they could say he beat Taker. There's nothing else beyond that. That's just so in the future, when they finally give this guy the title and they go full steam ahead with him, that's on his resume. That's it. It's not for you to care. It's just a notch on his resume. But Roman Reigns hasn't been uber pushed the way people imagine that he is, and he hasn't gotten all of the opportunities in the world, a la Sasha Banks. He hasn't gotten those. So when I asked about him being de-pushed, are you still there? Because my thing is kind of going in and out. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at YouTube and it keeps going in and out. But when I asked about him being de-pushed, the reason why I say he's not is because where exactly is his big push? He's still in the same spot that he was a month ago and a few months before that. And a few months before that, he's still in the same spot. And he's going to be in that same spot until everybody. All right, everybody. So you're saying that he's going lower?
No, I don't think he's going lower.
He's always going to be in that picture, but he's not getting the opportunity.
He's always going to be in the picture, but I really don't think it is in their plan. Now, I think the plan is, no, we're going to put this fucking belt on Braun. And he's our guy.
I want Braun to get the title. I want Braun to have.
It isn't even about what I want. I'm looking at what they've done booking wise, and I don't see. I mean, maybe they do Roman and like Braun at Mania or something like that.
I'm agreeing with you because I can see. I'm looking at what they've done with them as well. I would like for them to give Braun a lengthy title run because Roman needs something to chase that he legitimately can't beat. That's Braun, and it's also Braun with Brock. I'm not convinced that Brock can beat Braun. And tonight, nothing they did show me that Brock could beat Braun. I'm not convinced that Brock could beat this guy. And that's your story. But that's for now. Because now we have a new beast to slay. We have a monster to slay. And who do you think's going to do it?
Listen.
Roman's going to beat either the beast or the monster. Pick your poison, sir. Because it's going to Roman either way you want it. Now tell me it's not. And when you do tell me that it is, I want you to remember that you said they were de-pushing this guy. Continue.
They're gonna give it to Neville.
All right, thank you. Just say your corner. You're not gonna say your corner, but your corner.
No, I'm not cornered. No, I'm not. I'm saying that right now, they're going with Braun Strowman.
And what's the payoff? Tell me the payoff. You know what the payoff is. Come on, say it.
the payoff is
it's all for Roman. The face of the company. It's for Roman. They're just letting him chill right now, but they're keeping him there. They're keeping him there. If he was getting de-pushed, he'd be wrestling Miz. He ain't wrestling Miz. He ain't that title picture.
Oh, I'm not. That's not what I mean.
That's why I asked for clarity.
I don't mean like I don't mean like they dropped him off the face of the earth. It's not like he's Baron Corbin dropping Money in the Bank and then losing to Cena the next day.
Yeah. But I say all of this is being done because they're still trying to get people off of his back. There's still hope it's not going to happen. They're not. This isn't the way to get people off his back.
Of course they're always going to fucking try that, but I think that they now with Braun, it's like, wow.
They got
this
something
is our
there.
own creation.
They absolutely have something there.
This is our own creation. He's not an indie guy. He's tall. He's big. That's what Vince likes. And people really like him, and he's fucking over.
And they've had a long feud that people still are not tired of. So it works. Let me read what RBI said. I gotta get up out of here. My mother's been trying to kick me up out of her house for a while now. RBI, thanks for the donation, sir. He says, where is Atami going, and is Ember Moon getting called up before Asuka? Should Asuka win the dub belt and vacate the NXT belt? Real quick, before I answer that, I want to say that I did do an NXT takeover review from last night. It was very well accepted. Is that the right word? Accepted? Whatever. Got good response. The video's up on the channel. I enjoyed the show. We're not gonna review that now. We're not even gonna talk about it now. I'm just letting you guys know in case you missed it. It is up on the channel. As far as Atami and Ember Moon getting called up, and should Asuka win a dub belt? What is a dub?
The women's belt.
Okay. I would like Asuka to come up. Somebody said this, and I don't remember who it was, but they said that no one has ever held the NXT women's title and the title on the main roster at the same time. When Paige came up and beat AJ Lee, wasn't she still the NXT champion?
She was still the NXT champion, yeah, so that's not true.
Okay, I'm making sure I'm not bugging. I don't remember where I heard that from.
What happened is that
she got
called up to the main roster, she won it, and then she went back to NXT, and this was when JBL was the general manager at the time, and she told Paige that she had to relinquish the title if she was going to be main roster champion. And so she relinquished it.
But she technically held both at the same time. And then they had a tournament, not a tournament for her. They had
she was technically both the NXT.
Yeah, and she showed up for the Natalya and Charlotte match to present the championship, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, so I'm making sure I'm not bugging.
I have an image right now of her holding both titles.
Bam!
When she was down.
One of them was a little more dirty than the other. All right, so about this question, where is Itami going? I say he's staying in NXT. Right? I mean,
I don't know what else you do with him, honestly.
Like, you could. Itami's ready, honestly. I think Itami's ready. Especially since his heel
he was
turn.
ready. He was ready 4 years ago.
Right. But I think the NXT wanted to see what they could do with him on a heel turn. I think this heel turn for him has been very successful and has gotten him a lot more over with the audience because the audience was getting super cold on him, and his heel turn worked very well. What were you gonna say?
So here's a point that was brought up by again Meltzer that I think is actually kind of on point here. When they brought him in, because New Japan, you work stiff as fuck, just kick the shit out of him or whatever. And when he first came to NXT, everything was probably a lot softer for him. Like, oh, he can't do all these things, so he had to relearn things, soften up a little bit.
Plus, you got to put him in there with guys that could take that stuff.
Right. And at first, that probably it wasn't connected. Because remember, Itami at first, even though, obviously we're rooting for Kenta to succeed in WWE, it still wasn't, all that great,
That build-up that they were having when he was supposed to win that title
with
at
the
Beast in the East.
Angle, yeah.
When he was supposed to win that title at Beast in the East, I think that they were really on their way of getting him over. But, then he got hurt, so what can you do?
Yeah. But then, you put him in the ring with Aleister Black, and Aleister Black and him, he's just like, oh, great, I can just kick the shit out of people now again, and I'm a heel? All right, let's do this. And he has amazing matches. If they just let people work different matches rather than the standard, boring WWE match, we'd all be in a better place right now.
Yeah. Next part of that question, he asked about Ember Moon getting called up before Asuka. How'd you feel about that last night? Because when I watched it and I saw just the feeling, I was like, Ember's ready to be called up right now, and I would prefer for her to be called up than stay on the roster.
There's nothing else for Ember to do in NXT. You lost twice, bruh. She kicked out of your finisher,
and those are the only two. Oh yeah, that right there is GG. Those are the only two matches that she's lost. Was to Asuka.
Yeah. Yeah,
but she should get another shot because not only did she beat you clean, she kicked out of your finish. Done. We're done here. There is nothing you have to
love
prove.
it if Asuka just brags and it's like, I would just love it if Asuka just sits there and brags like, ha, I made her go to the main roster because she can't beat me.
Because she can't hack it down here.
What?
She was not ready for Asuka.
That's a thing. Like Ember Moon gets called up tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce show up on SmackDown. They're like, these women, they afraid of me. They go to main roster because I am champion. No one beat Asuka. And I'm like, oh, God.
I still can't stand Billie Kay and Peyton Royce or whatever. I can't stand them. I just want them to go back to Chikara.
They're great. They're great. I think their together is really funny.
I hate them.
Some of the backstage they've done is pretty damn good.
I don't. They got get off my TV heat with me, and that's me. Some people that's just me. Do you see Ember getting called up before Asuka? I do.
I do only because
Asuka has to defend his title against who wins the
story. I'm sorry, the Asuka story is really interesting in NXT, and when your streak's at 500, somebody's got to actually take it off of her.
I want her to not, and I want her to just keep legendary status, in NXT. She just leave NXT with that legendary status. Never lost the belt, never nothing.
What if she retires from NXT and never goes to the main roster and just says, "Well, nobody beat me in NXT," so.
Because let's look at this. Somebody wins the Mae Young Classic. I don't think that they deserve to beat Asuka. Not with what they built with Asuka. You don't deserve to just come up, oh, I won a Mae Young Classic. Oh, now I'm going to beat Asuka. Fluff out of here. No, that's not good enough.
Well.
I don't care who it is. I don't care about Go ahead, say that elbow. Go ahead. Go ahead, say that elbow. Go ahead, say that elbow.
Listen, I wasn't even going to talk about Kairi Hojo. What I was going to say was, well, hold on. Because we've seen things like the CWC where, the guy gets immensely over from the tournament. Or somebody gets immensely over from the tournament. And if somebody like that happens to pop up and they really perform and they look like someone who can actually take on Asuka, then yeah. Because they have a right to claim. They went through 32 women.
No, they can wrestle her. You just ain't beating her. Nah. I don't. No. What they've done with Asuka should not just be overtaken because somebody won a tournament. And now they beat
that's not
Asuka.
that's not what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
what
not
I was saying
just because someone wins a tournament, because what if someone wins the tournament and they're unimpressive the entire time through?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying because
I'm saying what if somebody wins the tournament and actually looks fucking dominant?
Okay, what about it?
Like as if it's someone who, oh shit, I would actually want to see them go up against Asuka, and
I'm good with that. Okay, they ain't beating her. I'm okay with them wrestling her, and even looking as good as Ember Moon did. You don't beat her.
Why is it? Do you even have an Asuka shirt?
Do I have an Asuka shirt?
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Okay, well I do. So listen, even as someone who's a bigger fan of Asuka than you,
sir, I am poor. Go ahead.
I'm poor too.
Continue.
I support the official release.
Oh, I'll go get the bootleg.
I think that eventually you want to get to the point that there's someone who poses a legitimate threat. Like if there were a female version of
someone pose a legitimate threat. She's had some threats. There was 3 of them that she had. 3.
Who?
Bayley, Nia, and Ember Moon. 3 legitimate threats. And as a matter of fact, Nikki Cross pushed her to the limit too.
That was actually a really fucking good match. Her and Nikki Cross are fucking awesome together. They damn near killed each other.
Yeah.
That shit was awesome. Like, I wouldn't be mad if Nikki Cross had taken the title from her that night. That night I was like, okay.
It was really, like when she did that suplex spot on the ramp and she hit her head. I said, good God. The match with Nia, that was a good match, and it was believable that Nia could beat her.
It was a good match, but like
that was the first time she did the flash kick and beat somebody.
I know, but I still didn't believe that.
But if Nia stayed, if Nia was staying, that's a legitimate threat. That was a legitimate sir. Sir, at that time, Nia hadn't been touched.
No.
Nia hadn't been touched.
Nah, she got guillotined by Bayley. Nah.
So I'm talking about her match with Asuka, sir. And she got guillotined by Bayley. Bayley in NXT was God. She came into matches with multiple finishers already packed in.
Nah.
She was God. In NXT.
Bayley was holding a lot of L's before. There was only one guy.
I'm talking about once they got that girl over. She was goating.
Nah.
Sir, stop.
Sure. Nah. Stop. Nah. The only goat in NXT during that time, her name was Charlotte. She was so goat that Bayley's so goat in NXT. Listen, they had to send 3 of the best women away so that Bayley could have her time.
I said once she got over.
They didn't even let Becky win the championship just so that Bayley can have it.
Yeah, if Becky was there, she would have held it. She would have been the one. But no. Her matches with Asuka were good.
I didn't say that they weren't.
And you know what? I take that back because I didn't feel like Bayley was going to beat her. I take that back.
Yeah, no.
But I still have my 3 though. I still got Nikki, Nia, and Ember Moon.
I don't buy Nia. Ember Moon, sure. Fine.
Sir, Nia was hot at that time.
Nia, it's all about size though with Nia.
She was beating the piss out of women. How do you
and Asuka kicked her fucking ass.
All right, and it was a matchup that was interesting. How you say you don't buy that she could have beat her? She could have.
No.
But soon as she had that match, that was it. They brought her right up.
I'm sorry. She was sorry. Nia Jax was in the ring with Brock Lesnar. She ain't winning.
Shit work done?
I'm on 13 more to go.
Do them. Sir,
see now.
Nia
okay, here's the thing. If there is a female equivalent, well, not necessarily equivalent, but someone who at least can fight like this person, they don't need to necessarily have the gimmick of Aleister Black, and went up against Nia, or even if I got someone like Nikki Cross and you had another like false count anywhere match or something like that where Nikki can use the outside, then I'm totally with it.
Let me ask you this.
Then I'm like,
let me ask you this. When the Cruiserweight Classic was going on, who was the champion at that time? Was it Joe?
The champion in NXT?
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been a back and forth between Joe and Nakamura at the time.
Okay, let's say it's either one of them.
Okay.
Right. Who won the Cruiserweight Classic?
TJ Perkins.
Sir, you know where I'm going with this.
No, I don't. Where are you going with
TJ Perkins wins this Cruiserweight Classic. He got the story behind him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole I was homeless gimmick. Yeah, got that. Got it. And he comes in, and he is a threat to Samoa Joe.
No, why would you? No, that doesn't make sense.
All right.
Why is it?
So somebody from the Mae Young Classic wins the Mae Young Classic, and they come in and they are a threat to someone that has been over 500 days as champion and completely undefeated and has no story, story in NXT. Okay. You're telling me that they should beat Asuka?
Why is that? Time out.
What?
Time out. Here's the one flaw with that argument. You're comparing cruiserweight, where it's clearly defined by weight class, a cruiserweight going up against Samoa Joe.
Sir, are there any mid-card belts in NXT?
No.
All right. Are there any mid-card women's belts in NXT?
No.
You only got one champ each way. You only got one.
Right.
I don't care about size. Who cares about size?
And I said.
How'd you feel about Daniel Bryan? How'd you feel about Daniel Bryan beating Batista and Randy Orton in the same night?
All right, but Daniel
Bryan's a cruiserweight.
Right, but he actually fought in a heavyweight class, so you got to see matches with him against heavyweights. With TJ Perkins,
you got to go with what's available to you.
You literally saw him in a tournament in which he went against guys who were 205 and under.
Okay, so they're saying that Finn Balor was the champion at that time. Okay, so now it's Finn. Okay. There you go. Same size. Go. TJ Perkins comes in and beats Finn Balor for the NXT title?
That's not okay. Listen, again.
Same size.
But you're talking about class. We've seen Finn Balor go up against guys like Samoa Joe, go up against guys like Kevin Owens, guys in the heavyweight class. He's competed against heavyweight guys.
Let me help you. Let me make it easier for you. Let's say that Kota Ibushi wins.
Again, it's not about. Okay, listen. The tournament is about who is the best cruiserweight and who can win amongst cruiserweights, and they're fighting in a class.
Kota Ibushi against Finn Balor. That's a layup. You could say that he could win. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it.
Of course, yes. I would want to see Kota Ibushi versus Finn Balor
and beat him for the NXT title after winning the Cruiserweight Classic, right?
Listen,
say it.
Yes, Kota Ibushi as a performer, I would have.
You don't want to say it.
Listen,
I made it so easy for you. I made it easy for you. Go ahead. Oh, he's even bigger than him.
Listen. I'm
listening. They said I got a dick
joke
coming.
Of course, I would want to see Kota Ibushi and Finn Balor in a match together, and if it was for the title, great.
Sir, just walk into this corner with me.
There's no corner to walk into because again, it's not because you're fighting for the NXT Championship, which is not defined by any sort of class. Anybody can compete in it. Whereas the Cruiserweight tournament is specifically a Cruiserweight tournament in which first of all, the prize
so can they not wrestle outside of the Cruiserweight? Can they not wrestle outside of Cruiserweight?
I'm not saying that they can't. What I'm saying is that, well, then they would need to prove that they can actually go up through the heavyweight rank. Whereas with the Mae Young Classic, there's no weight class. It's just,
I understand you.
If you
I understand
are
you. I understand you. But I'm talking about matchups. Are you telling me that Kota Ibushi can't go up through the heavyweight class?
I'm not saying that he can't, but there's no proof that he can. In WWE, there's none.
All right, let's look at Finn Balor. Because there's weight classes, right? So let's look at Finn Balor.
Yes, he's 190-something pounds. But we have the matches to show that he could do it in NXT.
We had one guy. One. Like, I'm not including Kevin Owens, because that was a one and done. And Kevin Owens just has a big belly. But other than Kevin Owens, we had one guy. We had one guy that Finn feuded with, because as Finn held that title, he pretty much only wrestled one guy for a whole year, which was Samoa Joe. Where's this big body of work of Finn wrestling guys 7 times his size?
And that was 7 times his size. Heavyweights. Just guys who are above 205 pounds.
Okay, so are you saying that Kota Ibushi doesn't? All right, so let's go with your logic here, because now we have to talk about a very good friend of Kota Ibushi. We have to talk about Kenny Omega.
Yeah, what about him?
Here's a guy that's made his name in the juniors. Then he worked his way up to the IC, and now he's one of the main guys in the heavyweight picture.
Yeah. Did you hear what you just said?
As he could have always been.
He could. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But guess what he had to do? He had to win. He had to be a junior, and then he had to declare himself he had
to wait for people to leave. That's called politics.
No.
He didn't have to wait. That's politics.
But in story, what happened?
In story or in reality?
Listen, it doesn't matter in story or in reality. Listen.
There's a difference.
But what happened? Kenny Omega had to start as a junior, and he competed in the junior weight class.
Because he was a guy gene. They ain't trust this guy.
And they
plus at the same time he was out there. Plus he was out there known for wrestling in DDT and having comedy matches. They're gonna put that guy in their main picture when he comes in there? Absolutely not.
Okay, but he had to prove somehow that he could get there first, correct? And then once he decided he was no longer going to be a junior, and he decided to move up in class and
compete for when people left? Sorry, I had to fix you. Yeah, people left.
It doesn't matter if people left or not.
It didn't happen until they left. In reality, it didn't happen until they left.
Listen, that doesn't matter. In story.
Okay.
Because we're talking about story, right?
I'm talking about reality.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, in story, if Kota Ibushi were to win, because this is what you're proposing, is that in story, if Kota Ibushi were to have won the Cruiserweight Championship World Tournament, whatever it is, you're saying like, oh, you're just gonna throw him straight to Finn Balor, right? And
no, I'm asking if you would be okay with him beating Finn in the NXT title.
He would have to earn it first because he hasn't competed in the class.
Can I tell you what TJ Parker did after he won a Cruiserweight Classic?
Dick.
No, he wrestled Nakamura on NXT.
Yeah, he did. And he lost.
He lost, but they didn't have him wrestle Oney Lorcan. They put him right to Nakamura immediately.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not?
I'll ask you again, sir. He wins the Cruiserweight Classic. Are you okay with him beating Phil Bacon? We haven't even gotten to the reason why I'm asking this question. By the way,
time out. So your example that you bring up to try to go to your point of him winning the NXT title is bringing up an example of which he went up against an NXT star who does compete in the heavyweight class all the time with those people, and he lost. That's the example that you just brought up.
I'm asking because I'm asking you if you would be okay with.
You brought up an example. Time out. You actually just brought up an example that proves my point. That he would have to prove himself before he gets there. And so who do they throw up? Hey, we have this hotshot guy, Nakamura. We're not sure if he's ready for the title yet. Here's the Cruiserweight champion. I think that would be pretty interesting to see if a Cruiserweight can actually compete with these heavyweights. And he put him in a match with Nakamura. They had a pretty good match, and Nakamura won. So no, he wasn't ready, which is my point.
So let me ask my question again, which you still seem to not be answering. Would you be okay? Sir, you're not even letting me finish. Would you be okay if Kota Ibushi won the Cruiserweight Classic and beat Phil Bacon for this title? Yes or no?
Oh my God! Like
it's a yes or no question.
You are not getting it. No, because you're gonna try.
It's a yes or no question.
No, because
we're definitely tying it back to Asuka. We are 100% gonna tie it back. So answer it with a yes or no. You can say no. It's okay to say no.
It's not the same thing.
If you say no, then you're agreeing with me. Say no and agree with me. Come on over. Say no.
No, because say
yes. Say yes. It's okay to say yes. I made it easier for you because he's bigger than him. Go ahead and say yes.
You're equating something to something that's not equated. They're not the same thing.
You're not even answering my question. My question at the current moment is my question at the moment is unrelated. At the moment, my question is unrelated.
You said, would I be okay with it? And I said, no, because he needs to prove himself. The same way that you brought up the match.
Okay, so I didn't hear you say no. I didn't hear you say no to Kota Ibushi beating Phil Bacon. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear that. So you say no, right?
Yes.
And your reason is because he needs to prove himself, right?
Correct, because it's a different
That's what I'm getting at with Asuka. That's what I'm getting at.
It's the same class. It doesn't matter
about their class. She has to prove herself.
They have
you don't beat somebody that's held the title for as long as she has and has been undefeated from the moment she has gotten there, and then she don't have to prove that she can be. You just beat her.
Went through no. Listen, no, because you're saying the word beat. I'm not saying
that's what I've been saying from the beginning.
No, I'm saying can they have a match? Yeah.
I said that too. I agreed with you. And I said there's no way that she should beat Asuka. There's no way that anybody that comes from that tournament and wins it should just up and beat Asuka the very next time they wrestle her.
And what did I say? I said if they perform at a level in which it's believable and I believe that they could actually pose a threat to Asuka, then yeah, I'd be completely okay with it. But if it's just anybody, then no. What part of that did you not get?
I still don't. Under no circumstance.
Okay, no. I'll give you an example. Okay.
Go ahead.
So let's say that the Mae Young tournament happens and it's mostly a flop, right?
Okay.
And the winner.
I don't care if they put Ronda Rousey in there. Asuka beats her.
I mean, I don't know how whatever. I don't care. Let's say that the tournament is a total stink, and the winner is someone unimpressive.
Then she shouldn't even smell Asuka's ass.
No, correct. So again, it's about how they look, what they did, how impressive are they? Do they look unstoppable? Does it look like a feasible opponent that could actually go up against Asuka? Then yeah, you book that match. But if not, then because again,
I would rather get money out of it. There's money to be made in what you're saying if you make a feud out of it. The way you make that feud out of it is once she blitzes through that tournament and looks dominant, you send her to Asuka. Asuka humbles her, but still 100% completely competitive, and you start your feud. Then she wins, but coming right out the gate and beating her. Someone that has the status that Asuka has, you don't just beat that in one shot.
Who said she's coming out of the gate?
That's what I've been saying from the start.
Who's saying that I'm giving her this match immediately after she wins?
Sir.
Obviously, you save this shit for a takeover.
Okay. She still shouldn't beat her. In your first shot against Asuka, you should not beat her. No.
What?
Then what? Then Asuka comes back and loses to her again?
You're overthinking this. I think you're really overthinking this.
Sir, I am about protecting the investment.
Yeah.
They've invested in Asuka as much as they have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you have someone that wins the tournament, to me, the story is in now let's chase Asuka. Not let's just come up and beat her because, all right, I look dominant against some bum-ass chicks as well. Some bums. Let's be legitimate about this. There's bums in this tournament. You look at the Cruiserweight Classic.
Who says that she's going up against all bums?
You look at the Cruiserweight Classic, and top to bottom, almost all of them were great. Almost all of them were great. There were some duds. Did you skip past that first? Did you skip past that first round? Because that first round was ass. Not all the matches.
Not all of them, but that first round was ass.
So that means that some of the guys that got eliminated in the first round were good. You can look at it, Tommaso Ciampa, and say he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't remember everybody that was in that first round. I do remember my man with the 2 sunglasses. He was ass. I do remember my man.
Also, how do you know? You didn't even see the tournament yet. How do you know the first round with these women are just going to suck?
I didn't say anything about the tournament. I said, no. Because, sir, I don't want to be sexist. All right, you're making me.
Yeah,
listen. I don't want to get this video demonetized. I don't want this to be advertiser unfriendly, right? So I'm all about women's rights and equality and all of that, right?
You a fucking liar.
You know, just to sell out so that I'm advertiser friendly. I'm all about women's rights. So, but no, there's gonna I want to say. More than half the women in this are going to be completely ass. How many women we got?
32.
Yeah, WWE, they're not getting 32 strong. Nah, I say they get about maybe 10 to 12 strong. The rest of them going to be ass. They're going to be they're going to smell. It's going to be cheeks. Did you see them qualifying matches, sir?
Well, sir, okay, that's different.
Sir.
All right, listen.
And they put that on TV. They let you see that. They let you see that. Imagine what you didn't see, sir. Imagine what you did not see, sir. Did you not see that, sir? Sir,
listen. We gotta
watch that live.
Listen,
we gotta watch this live, sir.
Listen.
They're in the tournament.
Listen.
Sean Maluda was ass.
Listen.
Hold on.
Listen. Like I said, the first round of the CWC wasn't great either.
But there was some great ones in there that got eliminated in the first round.
We're probably gonna get some great ones in the first round.
I would say more than half were good.
And then
I would say more than half of those guys were really good. And I'm saying more than half of these chicks are really bad.
Listen. What's going to happen is that the first round of the women's tournament is going to be kind of similar to the first round of the CWC. And then once all the scrubs are eliminated, once all those NXT preliminary matches are out of the way.
There's still going to be some more ho-ho loins in there in the second round.
No. So, I think that, again, it depends on what happens. It depends on how the person who comes out of it looks and if they actually seem dominant enough. And then you put them to the test and see what happens. I think it can go either way. I think you should leave the option open to possibly beat Asuka depending on how the build goes. Or, you can have Asuka retain. Either way. You
know what? You're right. You are the guy that likes that instant gratification because you're good with Dean and Seth winning the titles tonight.
I'm not an instant gratification guy. I just think depending on
you don't want to play. You don't want to play with it at all. You don't want to work the build up. You don't like the big finish. None of that. You want it to just go down like right there. That's you.
No. It completely depends upon the build. The reason why I said Dean and Seth have to win tonight, they can't afford to lose, is because that the build was that you're remembering, the Shield, they were one of the most dominant teams and they can take over the tag team division. So if you go and the whole build is, well, the reason why they're not a team is because they cannot trust each other, the pop is going to happen when they decide or they finally resolve their issues and they say, you know what, fuck it, let's get together, let's be a tag team, let's prove that we're still as dominant as we once were. And you pay that off by having them win, and then you throw the challengers at them to continue to prove their dominance. And then when somebody comes around, they can say, we took down two members of the greatest faction in one of the greatest factions in WWE history. You can still build on something, even if you may be taking something that's instant gratification away right then and there. You can still build upon it and go in different routes. It doesn't necessarily always have to be string this thing out as long as possible, because sometimes when you do that, you miss on the opportunity that's right in front of you. And I think that in a case with Dean and Seth, that's an opportunity where it's right in front of you. Listen, in WWE, where a lot of shit is not getting over and the crowd is reacting as loudly as they are just for them to fucking fist bump, you get that shit over immediately and put the titles on them. You have
the titles on. All right. And weren't you the same one that said that you wanted the titles on Breezango? Just asking for a friend. Yeah. Just asking for a friend.
For Breezango, I said yeah, because at the time it was like, well, they're building.
So
it
right
up
now,
in a way
you think
in
that should they still be champions right now? Breezango, if they want to title, they should be champions right now.
Right now, well, no, because they're not doing anything with it.
Well, sir. See, I'm all about that long-term game, sir. I'm not putting something on somebody just because right now they're hot. No, you got to prove it long-term.
Listen, but that's not their fault that it's not going on long-term. That's booking's fault. That's the difference.
They're still being pushed.
No, they're not.
So they don't got like a whole storyline being worked with them?
They're still being pushed. I'm sorry. Were they on the SummerSlam show?
So, do they not have a whole storyline being?
I'm sorry. Did they have a match in SummerSlam?
No, they didn't have a match in SummerSlam.
All right, then I don't want to hear it.
So they're not doing anything with them. So they're not doing anything with them, is what you're saying.
No, they're not.
So you don't hear about Breezango every single week.
They pushed to the side. They let them fuck off with
They're not doing
nothing.
They're not doing anything with Breezango, right?
No.
So weekly, you don't even see these guys, right? Now, mind you, I don't watch SmackDown. I haven't seen anything in a long time because I can't. But I at the very least know that they're doing something with them every week.
I don't think they did anything last week. I think they did something the week before that where they were supposed to be like, we'll find out whenever. And I haven't heard anything.
Sir, they had a story where they just got into season 2 of their story. Like, sir, they're not doing that for nothing. They're doing that because they're building them. And when they're building them, they're still working on them. That doesn't mean that they have to put them into. Maybe they're not ready for what they wanted, what their payoff is, and it's not ready for them for SummerSlam. You don't just throw them on there just because. All right, we're working with them on something. Let's just throw them in. They don't have a program.
Why is it they don't?
So do you put them? So do you put them in there?
No. Why is it?
All right, let's throw them in there with a no nonsense tag team like Ascension or something.
Why is it? No. Why is it? The problem is that WWE doesn't actually want to push them.
Okay, so then what's the point of what they're doing with them then?
It's funny. That's what Vince likes. He likes shit that's funny. So he's like, Tyler Breeze, he's in a dress. He dressed up like Nikki Bella. Have him go out and look like an old woman. He thinks that's funny. And so this is entertaining for him. It's not.
But they're getting TV time.
Okay. I mean, so does Bo Dallas.
Maybe they're doing something with Bo. They're doing something with Miz.
Yeah, they're doing something for Miz. They're not doing anything for them.
Hey, that's part of the thing. That's part of the whole gimmick. They might be being used to build up someone else. Bo Dallas and what's that boy name? Curtis Axel are being used to build up someone else. The Edgeheads were being used to build up Edge.
Right, and Breezango is not
that being TV time isn't necessarily for them. That TV time is, all right, we need someone to fill this for them. You guys ain't doing shit, here you go. That's not necessarily their TV time. These guys, Breezango, are getting skits dedicated to them. That's not for someone else. That's for them.
No, it is for someone else because they keep teasing. They keep trying to figure out who did it. It's a build for someone else. They're building to another team. It's not.
They're
for
building
them.
for another team to debut, but they still have their own thing. This is a gimmick. Like, this is an absolute gimmick built for them.
Yeah, it's a really funny gimmick built for them, but it's not leading them to a title or anything.
Why does it have to be a title?
It's going to be a comedy act. That's it.
Oh, my God. Okay, let me ask you a question.
I have a question.
Let me ask you a question. How many world titles did Roddy Piper win?
That's not the point.
Sir, we're talking about titles.
That is not the point.
Which point is yours?
My point is
you said title, I bring up title.
What is the point in being in the tag team division, or like what is the point in competing in any division if you're not competing for the title? What's the point in being there?
What's the point in anybody being in WWE?
I understand that, yes, you need like some people to fill certain roles, but you're trying to convince me that they're building up Breezango for like something big, and I
didn't say that. I said that they're getting some sort of push here.
You were saying, hey, you got to do some long-term booking for them. Long-term. What is the plan for them at the end of the day?
To get them over. Whatever they do with them in the future is that. But they're to get them over.
They're already over.
According to you, they're not doing anything. So are they over or are they not?
Listen, there's a difference between being over and them doing something. They're not.
You said they're doing nothing with them. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. They're doing something.
They do not
go
hand in hand. They do not go hand in hand.
Just hand in hand. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
That means that just because someone is over doesn't mean that they're doing something with them. Yeah, they have a TV skit that they do every week, and it's really funny. But wrestling-wise, are they chasing a title? Are they?
Does everyone have to chase a title?
No, but it seems like they don't actually have a goal. It just seems like this feels more like they're debuting a new team.
Let me ask you a question. What is Atami's goal right now? Is it
the
the
NXT
title?
champion.
I don't see him going after the title.
Yeah, no, he literally had a match.
What is Aleister Black's goal right now?
I don't know exactly what it is, but at least I can see a build for him, and
You're making up something imaginary right now.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. The man doesn't even talk. You don't know what his goal is. That's where that is.
Right. I know. I don't know what his goal is, but in the build, I can see. All right, here's a guy that's protected, hasn't lost. There's at least intrigue and a question of, hey, maybe this guy should be in the title picture. There is none of that intrigue whatsoever with Breezango.
My point is, not everybody needs to be in a title picture. Let's go back to Roddy Piper, the guy who never held a world title. Did that mean that they weren't pushing him? I'm curious. I'm using your logic. Am I not?
What's the long term? What is the long term plan for the Breezango then?
I've already said what it was with them. Some people are built for titles. Some people are not. The reason why I even mentioned them was because you felt as though that they should have put the titles on them, and I always said no. That's what I always said.
So then, what's the point? Like, what's the point in having them there? Like, what is their
goal?
What's
the point in having 95% of the roster there?
That's the problem with WWE right now.
Oh, now we're talking about the problem with WWE. Sir, I'm talking about the problem with this here logic. Not everybody's going for titles.
There's no problem with the logic. Like you just said, what's the point of 95% of the roster there? And I'm like, yeah, what is the point of 95% of the roster there? Because 95% of the roster doesn't fucking matter. They don't matter. They're irrelevant. You're comparing Roddy Piper to Breezango, where they're not doing anything with them. Like, nobody's going to be like, oh, man.
They were doing something with him. I mean, all right, so when Piper wasn't even really wrestling much, they were still doing Piper's Pit with him, right?
Yeah.
They were doing something.
Yeah.
Was he going after a title?
No.
They were doing something with him because he was still getting TV time. And he still has legendary status. Never held a world title. He got an Intercontinental title down the line much later out of his prime.
I know, but he actually felt important.
And why did he feel important? Is it because they invested time into him? Yeah. Yeah, you can say yeah. It's okay.
No, I don't even know what you just said. You cut out.
I said, did he feel important because they invested time into him?
Yeah.
So, what are they doing
with Breezango?
Breezango?
Doesn't. Yeah, they're investing some time. They're devoting time to them on the television program.
So
but
what I'm getting at is we don't know what the end goal is, but there's a reason why they're investing. There's a difference between investing time in someone and investing time in them for them to just job. Because they'll invest time into jobbers for them to job, and you know that's what they're there for. That's not what you get from Breezango. They're investing gimmick building time into them, character development. There's character development in here. How many people can you say that they're developing their character for?
Oh yeah, I remember when they built up Natty's character to be a farting gimmick. That worked wonders for her.
No, that was clearly a rib. Here's the difference between them and Natty. They did something that was supposed to be a rib and got it over. Therefore, WWE in turn started to invest time in them. Natty was just ribbed and thrown to the side. They didn't dedicate time to Natty. She just walked around farting. Am I wrong?
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what happened. But again, it's just like, what's the point?
Were you looking for a payoff to her fart?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that just because they've given her time to do something on TV doesn't mean that it's leading to anything.
Sir, there's a clear difference in Natty and Breezango. Stop it.
And there's a clear difference between Breezango. I'm sorry, and there's a clear difference between Roddy and fucking Breezango. I'm sorry. That's my point. Is that they're not the same thing.
Okay.
You're comparing.
What's the difference between? Because I gave you comparisons. So what would be your comparison with them and Natty?
Roddy, wait, with Breezango and Natty?
Yeah. What's your comparison? Because I gave a pretty strong comparison between Roddy and Breezango.
This is a jobber gimmick, and it's just like, well, not a jobber gimmick, but it's just like, this is you're not really that important. We're not investing, time into you. We're just giving you time on TV to do something that we think is funny.
So you don't.
That's all it is with Natty. So that's what it is with Natty too. They thought a flatulent gimmick was really fucking funny.
And you felt that they were building a character there with that?
With what?
With Natty doing that? You thought they were building some type of character there?
Not necessarily like building this is gonna be her character forever, but that's what they stuck her with. It was her character.
Like when I watched
character for a while, it was so much a part of her character. It was in finishes of matches.
I'm sorry to hear that. Ill. But was she winning though?
I don't know.
Right. So let's go back to Breezango.
I didn't care. The same way that's how I'm going to feel like 2 years down the line with Breezango. It's just like, you're asking me this question. They did that with them? It's like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you're like, and you'll be like, did they win? And I'll be like, I don't know, because I don't really fucking pay attention.
Look, I absolutely agree with you. 2 years from now, they won't even be a tag team. They're going to be split. They'll be below mid-card. I absolutely agree. So then what's the argument that I am making is that they are building some sort of character development with these guys. They're giving them full-blown skits. And these ain't skits where it's like, it's completely free. There's production in these skits that they're doing here. They're putting money into it.
That doesn't mean anything.
How much did it cost for Natty to fart?
Remember, okay. All right, so you want to talk about investment and you want to talk about putting money into people and a lot of production? Bray Wyatt.
Okay. Bray Wyatt is still a money match.
Remember how much you were invested in him?
Yeah,
and how much you cared about him? And then you literally gave up on them to the point that you literally didn't even want to say their names anymore.
Absolutely.
You literally did that.
Now, I'll say this again. Bray Wyatt is still a money match. Whether we like him or not, they still use him as a money match. They do.
And do people really care about him?
No. But
okay,
I'm talking about how they use him. They use him against guys that they want to be at the top. They're still using him as a money guy. Are we going to dispute that?
what is there to get invested in?
How many mid-card guys is Bray Wyatt taking on? 4?
Not a lot, no.
Exactly. So they did it for a reason. They invested time and money into him. They ain't throw it away yet. They're not giving us what we want from him. They're not treating him well.
They have burned a lot of fucking money on this guy.
Yeah. And they're using that money to get other guys.
The potential that you could. All right, so then let's do this then.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I know what you was about. I know what you was getting at. You was about to say that they could have made money on him.
Yeah, they could have made money on him, but because of poor decisions that they made, not striking when the iron was hot, not striking at the right times, continually passing up opportunities in which it would have made fucking sense to at least give him a win, or in big matches with people, they completely fucked it up with them. Because they don't actually, again, you can't just go long-term. Long-term isn't the answer for everything. It's the answer in some cases and in certain cases. Yes, I agree with that. But sometimes they're just doing something because they're just doing it, not because they're actually building towards anything. And in some cases...
I agree. I'm just talking about how I would enjoy things. When I'm talking about the Oscar thing, I'm talking about how it would make sense for me. And all right, to just have somebody win a tournament and then just beat her, no, that don't make sense.
Okay, listen, I'll give you an example in which I think Hot Shot booking made no sense either. They randomly threw the belt on Bray Wyatt.
That was retarded.
Randomly, just out of the fucking blue. I hated it.
That was retarded.
So it's not like I think you just strike on the iron's hot just because.
He wasn't even hot.
That's not what I'm. I can't remember what was going on with him around that time. Oh, Cena had taken the belt off of AJ, and then they did Elimination Chamber.
That was their way of getting AJ further away from the belt. And also giving Randy his thank you. At least somebody said that, and it made sense to me, so I agree with them. For some reason, I listened to a bunch of people and can't remember who said this. Was that Solid Monster that said that?
I don't know.
Could have been. I don't remember. I listen to the podcast. I listen to them while I'm sleeping, and I don't remember who said shit. So if it was him, then it was him. Go ahead.
Another one is like Dean Ambrose. Waited way too fucking long with him. They waited way too fucking long with him.
Dean Ambrose.
Like 2 years. What was that?
No, I didn't know what you were saying. Go ahead.
Like they waited way too long with them. Like they built, and then you think you're getting your payoff at Hell in a Cell, and then nope. And then you think, okay, he's going up against Bray Wyatt, a guy who's on a losing streak, but Dean's still kind of hot right now. He's your top seller. Nope, still nothing. He didn't get his first singles pay-per-view win until the next year. And then he was stone fucking cold again. And then he had to heat back up. And then you can only heat up and cool off guys so many times before people just don't care. And that's what happened. People just stopped caring about him because they realized after a while, okay, they don't actually have investment with them. And that's what I get from Breezango, is that there's no real actual investment in them. The investment is they think this is funny. And sure, yeah, it's a funny skit. I think it's fun and entertaining to watch. But after that, what's the investment? What's the purpose? Where does this go?
Sometimes people are used just for that. That's fine, why I keep saying it doesn't have to be a title all the time. Sometimes people are, somebody just mentioned Minoru Suzuki in the chat, and I don't know what it has to do with. I don't even know what they're talking about, but I just saw the name, and that just made me think of Yano. Not WWE. New Japan has invested time into Yano, a complete comedy character, and has gotten him over as a complete comedy character. And we know what his role is in the G1. We know what he does on their roster, and it works for them. He doesn't have to touch a title. In WWE, you don't have to touch a title to be over.
You don't. But here's the difference. In New Japan, they actually book to make fucking sense. WWE doesn't. So, Breezango's not going to get the same respect Yano does.
Yano doesn't exactly get respect. He's a comedy character.
Yeah, he's a comedy character who occasionally gets really, really lucky, silly wins over guys that he would probably in WWE get mocked for having wins with.
Okay.
But the difference is that
that's in tournaments. That's in tournament settings.
In New Japan, yeah, in tournament settings, yeah, which WWE doesn't even do.
Correct.
But in WWE, They don't have a guy like that because they don't book like that.
Well, have Tony's like
so
that.
You have a comedy character like Breezango here. It's not like, Breezango is gonna like randomly beat the Usos or New Day on any given night. No, I mean they might with 50-50 booking. Actually, they might. It's just when the title match comes around, it's not gonna happen.
Let me make this easier. I feel like they're doing this with Breezango because they have a certain place for them. They're building up their character, they're building up their gimmick so that they can be guys that they hang around and have matches, probably good matches, entertaining matches like that. My next comparison would be, I'm getting away from Roddy Piper, and I'll give you an even better and easier to understand comparison in Santino Marella. Guy was hugely over. They did nothing with him as far as a title chase, really. They dressed him as a woman. The guy got over, and they use him as that. WWE isn't worried about putting a title on you as much so as they are about getting money from you. If they can get money from them, then that's what they're working toward. It's not about, are they working toward making them credible? Are they working toward making them a great tag? No, they're just working to see if they can get some money out of them. And that's what they do with everybody on the roster. They try to get money.
That's fine, but I don't see that same investment with Breezango. I just don't.
Okay. I see what you mean, because maybe they're like, all right, once we're finished laughing at them, then we're done with them. I can see that.
It's done, yeah. I see it being dead before the end of this year.
I see that. But it could have been like that for New Day as well.
It could have been, but it was just very random how that all came together.
Well, hey, this right here is too. So what I'm saying is, you just don't know until it plays itself out. They're doing something here. I can't just see that they're doing full-blown skits with production and be like, nothing. Because they've done this with people. They give it a shot and they see if it sticks. Now, granted, they surely know how to F it up after a while. That's what they do. But I'm not going to act like they're not giving it a shot, because it looks to me like they are.
I mean,
it doesn't mean a title is in their picture or a title chase is in it. No, it just means that they're there to make some money.
So they're just there to be there. I mean,
hey, here's your shot. We couldn't do nothing with you as singles, so let's put you together and see what we could do with you. And if that doesn't work, then we get rid of you.
But they know it's working.
It's working. You wouldn't know that unless they were doing something with them.
Yes, they're like I said, they're putting them on television. Yes, and that's why they continue to do this stuff. But where is it going? Like it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere.
All right, so where does anything in WWE go?
Usually nowhere. That's why I have this skepticism. That's why I'm like, I don't care.
That's why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. So we were supposed to.
All right. So here's the thing. So we were actually supposed to figure out who the secret team was at the last pay-per-view, and they decided to go on a whole nother season. We got and then we got nothing about it for SummerSlam either.
Okay. So
why am I supposed to care? They're essentially Emelina-ing right now.
Emelina, her own situation.
Again, another person. They invested a lot of fucking time
for. That's
Emma's
fault.
Constant, non-stop fucking trailers every fucking week.
That's Emma's fault. That is Emma's fault. That is not their fault.
Okay. All right. So now Lana, week after week of just hyping her up and everything, and then she comes out, they give her a title match right away, which that's one where I'm like, okay, no, you didn't deserve a fucking title match. You don't just get to walk out because you decided to put on wrestling boots.
She's not ready. But Breezango,
right.
It's not like Breezango's inexperienced.
Right. No, but here's the thing, is that they put all that effort into her, and then Lana loses her title match, which is fine. Okay, I understand she shouldn't have the title right now anyway. Then she loses her title match, and then all she does on TV is lose. That's all she does. So
I mean, now
why,
I don't. Now I haven't seen anything she's done on
should I care?
SmackDown, so I can't even debate you on this because I haven't seen anything that she's like. All I've heard is like they've done something with her and Tamina, and then Tamina. Yeah, I don't know. What the hell's going
she was supposed to be with Tamina, and then like this is the thing with WWE. They just throw shit at a wall until like something happens, and maybe it sticks, and then they just kind of run with it until they get bored. And then once they're bored with it, they stop it.
Which is why I'm saying things don't go anywhere there. That's why I'm not. That's why when you're saying where's it going, where does anything go there?
Why is it? They put production time into R-Truth and Goldust split. Do you know what the resolution of that was?
Dick all. But that's what I'm getting. Nothing
That's
goes anywhere.
the point.
But nothing goes anywhere there. But that's
my point. Is that this is something where it's just like they're just doing it because they have the production money to do it, and it's not going to go anywhere. There's no end game.
But that doesn't mean that it's that going back to Breezango, that doesn't mean like they're not doing anything with them. Like currently I feel like they're doing something. They were doing something with R-Truth and Goldust, and maybe they felt like, you know what, we can't get anything out of this, let's just pull a plug. That's what it looked like to me, because they just threw the match away on Raw. I didn't see it, but I heard it sucked.
I don't even know what happened.
I heard they just threw the match away on Raw, and that was it. They did the match. It didn't. They got what they expected. It wasn't going to go anywhere. The Goldust, that's not a hard one. I just feel like
Damien Mizdow. Months of build up for that shit. Are you kidding me?
There we go. Now that one, I'll give you. But they didn't like that guy. They were legitimately trying to rib him, and he got over. They got whatever money they could out of him and threw him away. When he got too hot and they couldn't get out, they just buried him and got rid of him. They didn't want him. That's just them not wanting somebody. They did it to, I was about to say Tyrus. What was Tyrus' name in WWE? What was his
Brodus
name?
Clay.
Did it to him.
Brodus Clay.
Tried to do it to Daniel Bryan.
That's the most fucked up one too.
It's what they do when it's
like
not someone.
They try
to do it with Punk.
Punk had to quit, and the crowd had to turn so much on the company in order for Daniel Bryan to have that WrestleMania moment.
They try to do it with Punk. Sometimes guys are too over and making them too much money. They can't get rid of them. The only way they can get rid of them is to make them quit. Sometimes guys are just too nice and won't do it. Daniel Bryan's that nice guy. CM Punk ain't, and he left.
It's just like think about it this way, okay? They're putting all this investment into Breeze. Oh, sorry, not investment. They're putting all this time into giving all this time to Breezango to do like these 2-3 minute skits that they throw on television, right? Mm-hmm. And it's actually like hard work that it seems like they're doing here. At least Breezango are doing here in this character gimmick. What exactly did Jinder Mahal have to do to get a spot right now?
Yo, look, bro, clanging and banging, B. Straight clanging and banging. We not gonna sit.
That's all he had. That is all.
Bro, dude's got to get in the gym, bro. Dude's got to get up there and start clanging and banging.
And
bro.
That's my point.
A lot of these dudes is out here looking like they don't hit no bars, B. Do you see Vince McMahon? Vince McMahon be clanging and banging. Nobody in there clanging and banging but your man Hardbody Mahal. He got the title.
But that's the thing. That's why I know
Roman came back. People were saying, "Oh, he looked like he got fat." Bam. So they're done with that. He's looking a little bit chubby. Take the title off of him. He's never touching the title again until he get in there and start clanging and banging.
This is my thing. This is like investment with people. It's like it's all about physical appearance. That's why I said like they're completely on board with Braun Strowman, because not only is he big, brolic, muscular motherfucker who's 6'8", which is what Vince fucking loves. On top of that, he's over. Mm-hmm. It's perfect for them.
Well, he's
perfect
over because
situation.
they made him over. But go ahead.
Well, I mean,
they made him over. Debatable. They made him over for Roman, but then he really got over. Sir, they were definitely getting him over so that Roman could beat him. But then he really got over, like over. And they said, no, we got money here.
No. That motherfucker accidentally got over.
Accidentally? You don't think that they booked him that way?
Motherfucker, when James Ellsworth came out and he said, I got 2 hands and a fighting chance, that
got him, that right there. He owes James Ellsworth for that.
Yeah.
But that by design, it was for him to just go out squashing people. When the James Ellsworth thing just amplified it.
Okay, hold on. I'll be fair to Braun here. Braun doesn't know him shit because James Ellsworth got a contract out of it, and he got to wrestle. He got to wrestle AJ Styles for the WWE World Heavyweight fucking Championship.
In a ladder
he don't
match.
owe him shit.
True. Yeah, they're done there. They're square. But the design was to get this guy seasoned up, get him some quick experience with jobbers, and see where it goes. Have him completely destroy these guys because they want him to look like a monster. The monster build was supposed to be for Roman. Because that was his first legit, like, all right, they threw him in there with Sami Zayn. He beat the absolute dog mess out of Sami Zayn. People are probably still wondering to this day, when is Sami Zayn going to get his payoff from Braun Strowman?
That's another one where it's like, you're supposed to get invested in this, and then they just like...
Who was supposed to get invested in that? He squashed them. Like when we were watching that whole thing unfold, I'm like, why are people getting so upset that Sami keeps getting trashed? He's getting trashed because he's getting trashed.
No, the only thing I was upset about with that feud is that they did a stupid 10-minute, like a match in which Sami Zayn's goal was just to be in the match for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was silly.
That was the match.
The whole Mick Foley thing. But they were making Braun strong for Roman because that was the first legitimate match that he had, and they just stuck with it. So I don't see him being. Braun wasn't being built up for anything else. I just don't see it. I don't see anything else that he was being. Sammy was just there for credibility at that point.
So how did we get to this again when we were talking about the Mae Young Women's Classic?
Because Kota Ibushi.
Oh God.
I gave you a bone. You want me to? I could go back to T.J. Parker, who actually did win the thing.
Yeah, and I said why I wouldn't want him to win.
He absolutely should. But no, that's where this whole thing started. I don't even know how we got into all of that stuff.
I just think our psychology on all this is completely different. I think you look way too much in the long term, and I'm like, there's a certain
too
time.
Much. I just say like, let's see if we can make some money out of this with a few.
So I'll tell you why I think this way with WWE.
That's NXT. That's NXT's issue that they only change titles on like takeovers. That's their problem. And with NXT too, but mostly with WWE. With WWE, it's so rare that they find someone and they're just fucking over. You know what I mean? Like they just there, and it's like the crowd is reacting the way that they want them to, or that they should be, and it's over. Like with the Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, just them doing a fist bump. The crowd is just like cheering for them just to do it, and they get upset when it's like they don't do it, and they finally do it, and they fucking erupt. Like let's be realistic. For them. Let's be realistic here. Whoever it is that wins the Mae Young Classic, you don't think she's going to be monster over when she wins this thing. No matter who it is. No matter who it is.
Well, hold on now.
Okay, go ahead.
Because if it is someone that people know, that could be a completely different story.
Who do they know that's in this tournament?
They would know Evie, who is now Dakota Kai.
The NXT crowd would know these people?
Yeah, they would know who Candice LeRae is. They would know who Kairi Hojo is.
I know who Candice LeRae is. And even if she were to win, she shouldn't beat Asuka. Keep going. The Hojo girl, I doubt that whole Full Sail crowd knows her. I highly doubt that.
No, they do. Oh, trust me, they do. I'll tell you the people.
How popular do you think she is in America?
Okay, listen. All right.
I didn't know about her till you told me about her. Never heard of the girl.
The average WWE
and the
fan
only thing I know about this girl's an elbow. I watched her matches and I'm like, she has a good elbow. That's about it.
Oh my God. You got to see the whole gimmick. It's amazing. She comes
freaking
out.
Sailors. Put her ass on One Piece. Let her be a fucking
I know.
She could take Nami's place.
Mia Yim is also in this tournament.
I forget who that is. Name sounds familiar.
Jade.
But see, that's the thing. When we talk about the CWC and we name those guys, we know who those guys are, and there's no debating who those guys are. You're naming these people, and I'm like, who? That's the difference between this tournament and the CWC, and that's the difference between being known in America and women's wrestling isn't even popular in America.
Well, I mean,
so how are we gonna say that full?
If you're a hardcore wrestling fan, which there are a lot of them in in Orlando, they'll get them over. Piper Niven's another one where I think people are going to learn who she is, but they may not necessarily know who she is now. Same thing with Kaylee Ray. Sorry, I'm looking through the roster now to see.
Even when Asuka came, and not everybody knew who she was as Kana. A lot of them did, but not everybody knew who she was as Kana. They didn't even blitz her to the title. And she beat the piss out of people. And they still ain't blitz her to the title.
Because
she didn't even look toward the title.
They were doing the stupid Eva Marie thing at the time.
Bro, that Eva Marie thing was over.
By the way, Eva Marie, technically the only person who has ever beaten Asuka. Technically.
Wait, what?
Battle Royal.
Boy, sir. There's no wins and losses in the Royal Rumble.
She eliminated her. So we got to get Eva Marie versus.
That's Dawson material right there. That's Dawson. Dawson right there. That's Dawson. I'm sorry. She technically and legitimately threw her out of a ring. Go ahead.
I you know what? I actually don't remember at all if they've ever had a singles match together. I kind of want to know versus Eva.
I really wanted to see what was going to happen with Eva.
Oh, never mind. They
so much fun.
Oh dear Lord, they have had a match together.
Who?
Asuka and Eva Marie.
Did Asuka kill? I'm pretty sure Asuka killed her. I'm not going to ask you that.
Oh yeah.
Asuka doesn't even lose house show matches.
I'm watching this match now, and now I remember it. Yeah, she killed her dead. And it was just it was on NXT. It was a lot of it was Asuka just taunting a lot. I forgot about that. That's how
Asuka doesn't even lose house show matches. That's the crazy part.
Mm-hmm.
But let's wrap this thing up so I can get going. Take this girl home so she can go to sleep.
All right, bye.
We gotta have something closing here. All right, I'll let you say your formalities before I get going.
Hi, it's Blackjack now.
It's Blackjack now.
I do YouTube and I have a channel. You can visit it.
What do you do on your channel?
I do sports and stuff. I do the baseball. I do the basketball. I do the Maddens.
What type of baseball? Like, what do you like? What makes yours? What separates yours from everyone else's?
Okay.
What exactly is your?
So my baseballs is different from other people's baseballs because I actually do a story in which I take a character. He's just an average black kid. Grew up in Trenton, New Jersey, but he was really big in anime and everything. So it's kind of like an anime-driven-ish kind of series. But it's done with MLB The Show, and it's pretty cool. I'm actually working on an episode tomorrow, so maybe check that out this week. And then I also have I have the NCAA footballs, and I have my own series where I have a created team there, the Aurora Red Foxes, and it's a really interesting series because I also do high school football there too. So there's a reason to follow along and see special stuff there. Then I create my own draft classes on the channel. It's a lot of very creative shit. If you like the creative shits, this is what you've been waiting for. And I also have a Let's Play.
Watch. Did you say the name of the channel?
It's www.youtube.com/c/BlackjackXXI Sports.
There you go. Give me it's linked on your Twitter, right?
Yes, it is actually linked on my Twitter.
Give me your Twitter.
It's at It's21 Blackjack.
Oh, he actually gave you the real one. Let's Play channel.
Yeah, I can. So yeah, I also have a Let's Play channel. I do Let's Plays there, and they're really funny, and the commentary's great, and a lot of people think it's great. I have this guy who edits for me. He's an asshole, and he constantly writes shit that I would really appreciate if he didn't. But yeah, if you want to see that, that's youtube.com/c/BlackjackXXI plays, and that's where you can see my Let's Play stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You should go there and check it out. I'm currently doing Persona 5 playthrough. I do some occasional random shit like dating sims like Flicks and Chill, and Yu-Gi-Oh! I play Yu-Gi-Oh! There, so if you like card games, it's right up your alley.
All right, what's the name of that channel?
It's Blackjack XXI Plays.
And XXI is another way.
21. It's 21.
Yeah, that makes it easier for them to remember. Give them a hook. All right, and as for me,
No panties or t-shirts.
all right. As for me, see you Thursday. Bye.